Just running me, curly yellow dancing on me. Said she smelled a grin on me, and she straight from California. Freaky, yeah, she wanna be. Tell me she like.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to Sekien. No Inganock. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. We talked to that green-haired girl quite a bit in the last episode. I honestly forget Dorothy. Dorothy, that's her name. We talked with Dorothy. She has what's it called? Whatever itis. And according to Guy, she seems to be at the point of no return. We don't know how to fix her. Hey yo, not that type of way, not that type of way. And yeah. That's pretty much it, man. Let's get back into it, man. We don't need this backstory. Oh yeah, we already did the inner voices, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's go.
音が聞こえる今日オルガンの音だけがこの子の全て黒いツタに奪われた中の一つだねきっとこの子は信じているのだろう奏でる音だけが自身を証明するものとだから私の声はあの子に届かないエンジン式パイプオルガンを奏でるこの子は黙ったままで何も話してはくれない硬い鍵盤を優美に奏でるその部分その手私は覚えているその小さな手を引いて歩いたあの時握り返してきた温かさ仮想の誰かが近づかない再仮想の閉鎖地区の中でさまよい歩く私の手を握ってくれたあの手噂はあった人知れず廃棄されてしまう貴族崩れまさかそんなとその時までは私も思っていたけれどこの子がいたのだ手を伸ばして私の手を強く握りしめてあの時はこの子は何も話さなかったそして今この子は何も言ってはくれないドロシーただいま今帰ったよ昨べは一人にさせてすまなかったね仕事が長引いてしまったんだ
So this must be Dorothy's caretaker that she keeps mentioning, right? So I assume this is him, Smith.
でもおかげで賃金は弾んでもらえたよそろそろたまったはずだ
Let's go! Yes, sir. We love the raise. We love the raise.
また君の服を買おう君の肌は昼の光には強くないからね私は今日も声をかける届かないことが分かっていてもこの子はドロシーは今日の無言で声を聞かせておかれない私のことも目にしない無理もない上層で大切に育てられてきたこの子がこんなに文化の用意した私を見るわけがないかつてのあの日あの時私は復活によって姿を見られた狼とトカゲとが合わさった奇妙な姿この姿は私への罰なのだ全ては私の不徳への天気の罰私は耐えられるこの姿に耐え難いのは一つだけこの子が今も幸せではないということドロシー君を私は見捨てはしない必ず君を治療できる医師を探すよ必ずだドロシーの表情は凍っている声は届かないまるですでに死んでいるかのように閉ざされた唇は開かないけれど私は覚えている 私は決めたのだ。何を残せなかった私の命のうちで、せめてこの子は、この子だけは、この子だけは。
Okay. Here we go. Back in, what is this? Infinitely Crowded Street? No, probably not. This is Guy's residence. Morning. Guy was standing at the small station waiting for the ascending monorail. The girl stood by his side. Kia. How does she feel about me? About how I've been acting since last night? Guy thought. He didn't make any real effort to start a conversation. 149 lives. 149 lives had slipped through his fingers. He rejected those memories, thereby rejecting this girl and the black cat. It was an unsightly reaction. Even he felt that. I can feel Kia's gaze. She's been looking at me ever since I woke up. That pink gaze of hers. It's asking where we're going.
Kia. 昨日はすまなかった。僕は樹化病の治療は得意ではない。
わかります、ギン。あなたはとても嫌がっていたから。
あれは人を蝕むものだ。多くの結末は死だ。けれども、僕はまだ見ていない。ドロシーという子をね。上層階段公園へ行こう。第一公園。君から依頼を受けてしまったからね。僕はそこへ行こう。
Look at him smiling. Look at him smirking a little bit there. That's nice. All he needed was a daughter. Man.
本当だと思う。
Man, oh man. He changed his mind since last night. Yes, he still didn't know a thing about that girl. I won't stand still. That's right, I decided not to. The upper tier staircase parks. Supports for everyone living in the city. He'd never revisited this place after such a short time. Not once over the past 10 years. He stepped across the strong, thriving undergrowth. For some reason, that sensation felt nostalgic. He looked up and remembered the third park. Scattered memories didn't matter now. He had no need for them. Guy quickly thought about something else. Dorothy. A girl invaded by Aberitis. First, he needed to confirm her depth. He needed to accurately measure it with his phenomenon equation's right eye. If the arbor depth was shallow, he'd be able to do something about it like he'd done for those children. It'd been especially bad for Perot, who also had a fever at the time. Still, compared to most Aberitis patients, it wasn't that bad. He naturally remembered Addie's words. Tomorrow was fine. The day after wasn't. If her judgment was correct, it was already too late. His reason was telling him, don't go. Even his emotions were whispering, there's no point. Still, even if she was just an acquaintance of Kia's, he'd gotten involved now, so... I can't stand still. I've decided. To hold this hand out until the end. He couldn't just leave her alone. He absolutely would not abandon her. In this city, such a hard way of life was hopeless. Mercy and self-sacrifice held no meaning whatsoever. People wouldn't do a thing unless they got shillings out of it. However, that certainly wasn't true for everyone. Kia pointed to that house. A common shape for a lower tier cooperative residence. The first floor room. There's a girl dying in there. Oh man. Ah, Smith.
来客など何年ぶりのことでしょうか。見ての通り何もない粗末な部屋ですが、お茶くらいはお出しできます。お二人ともよろしければお名前を。私はスミス、ジョン・スミスと言います。
My boy John Smith? That's such a that's such a plain name. It sounds cool though. John Smith. Like, damn, okay. A peaceful old man greeted them. His bearing and words were very soft. His body was somewhat distinctive. It probably manifested 10 years ago as a unique mix of Gnoll and Naga features. That by itself was normal. John Smith. In Sekien, that meant no one at all. This Mr. Smith was probably the girl's daughter. Or father. Daughter? What the heck? Guy looked around the room.
僕はギー巡回士をしています。
はじめまして、ミスター。キーヤと言います。
ようこそ、ギー、キーヤ。お医者様がどんなご用件で？ああ、ハンマーの方々から聞いて。しかし、私はまだお医者様に依頼できる資料はまさかとは思いますが、上層の監査の方ではありませんね。
いいえ、僕はただの巡回医師ですよ。
He's wary of me. That's normal as well. He has every right to be. City law wouldn't permit Aberitis hosts to live. The deeper it went, the more viciously enforcers tried to take their lives. He probably wasn't lying about never having visitors. If he did have any, he'd probably be dead by now.
キーヤがこちらのお嬢さんと昨日少しお話をさせていただいたらしく、いくらか僕も聞き及びました。この手がお力になればと思いお邪魔した次第です。
なるほど、そうでしたか。ではドロシーを呼んできましょう。まさかお医者様に見ていただけるとは。
His voice was shaking. He was probably nervous. Mr. Why does this... Why does it cut like that? Mr. Smith's eyes wavered as they looked at him. Guy could feel the man's emotions destabilizing. Was this the first time he'd spoken with the doctor? Guy saw hope and anticipation in his eyes. They bore down on him strongly.
さて、どこまでの進度か。
Hoping that Addie's judgment was a mistake, he saw a door open inside the room. He came out on her own before Mr. Smith called for her.
キーヤさん、また来てくれたのね。また来たの。お医者様を連れてきたわ、ドロシー。ありがとう。でもお医者様すみません。私はすでに手遅れですから。
ギーです。そこに立っていてください。
Guy activated his cranial organs as he spoke and operated the phenomenon equation in his right eye. The girl's hair was a brighter green than the trees in the park. He could see the black vines stretched around her body even without his equation's right eye. Analysis. Excellent physical health. Based on body temperature. Dangerously unstable mental health. Infection Aberitis. Abor depth 4. Time until the seeds bursts. Estimated to be 20 hours.
見込み違いはないか。残り20時間だと。最善の手は上層への報告。上層兵派遣と区画駆逐の正式依頼。バカな。
He endured the urge to bite down on his lip. The black vines were already clearly visible and passing through her clothing. Addie's explanation was no lie. This girl truly was hosting deep Aberitis. Her mind was beginning to break. Guy didn't miss the wavering in her red eyes. Her gaze wouldn't stay still, probably due to fear. She was filled with acceptance and terror.
不思議な光。それがトラッキング光なのね。
Yes, sir.
見てくださってありがとう。無駄でしょ。素敵なお医者様。
ドロシー、お客様に失礼だよ。この人は君を治療しに来てくださった。
キーヤさん、言ってあげて。あなたのお医者様に。
She's ignoring Mr. Smith. A single sigh from the green girl.
何をしても無駄。そんなこと自分が一番わかるの。いや、ダメ。そんな風に自分のことを言わないで。いい。お願い。ドロシーを直してあげて。
He couldn't nod. There were no miracles. Not in this world. Guy's thoughts went to him at his back. With that power, could he exterminate the Yuki possessing her? What the heck is a Yuki?
できるのか本当に。
No, he couldn't. With her arbor depth, one wrong move on his part would get him killed instantly. He'd seen that happen to countless doctors before him. Technically, arboritis wasn't a disease. It was a creature. Something which killed people. A certain kind of natural phenomenon. Humans cannot excise it. Since it used the human mind for nourishment, an arbor depth this far along made it indivisible from its host. Even if he were to use his hand, even if he brought about flame from the gate between his ribs, he'd incinerate Dorothy in the process. He couldn't isolate the Yuki sprout. Is that really true? What am I trying to give up
閉
on?
ざした彼女では意味がない。進路以外の情報を何一つ僕は知らない。そう。僕は
ドクター、どうなのでしょうか。娘は助かるんでしょうか。それともいいえ、そんなことがあるはずはない。この子はまだ何も。
He's going through it, man. John Smith. Yes, there's this man too. His gaze followed the girl named Dorothy. Kia's eyes had been the same way before they came here. Eyes observing someone. He knew full well what Guy had just seen. He should have known.
外で話を、ミスター。
The stillness was the same both inside and outside the room. The surface of the beautiful water held no ripples. The silence continued for a while. Even after leaving the cooperative residence, the old man named Smith didn't speak. He just gazed at the smooth water's surface. Guy didn't speak either. Silence answered him. 20 hours remaining. Then the girl's life and the safety of the ward would be at risk. When the Aboritis reached depth 5, the Yuki seeds would sprout and completely destroy her body, tearing it apart. Countless Yuki seeds would be scattered. It probably wouldn't be difficult. It was a disease of fantastic distortion which nullified even noble tattoos. This ward would be sealed off. Noble tattoos actually work? It just doesn't prevent the Aboritis apparently, but apparently the noble tattoos are effective? I don't know. I mean, I guess it isn't really hard to believe considering the fact that the phenomenon equation exists. Guy and Kia would not be spared. Even so, Guy was silent. The old man had to speak on his own. There'd be no meaning in prying words out of him. Aboritis was deeply tied to one's state of mind. Even the slightest oddity. I want him to say it. I want him to say what he himself knows.
はい。
あの子はかわいそうな子なのです。そんなものは無数にいるとあなたはお笑いになるかもしれないが。
笑いませんよ。心を麻痺させることが僕たちの敗北です。だから僕は巡回医師なのです、ミスター。
立派な人だ。あなたのような人が。私は想像せざるを得ない。あの子を拾ったのがあなたであればと。私以外の誰かであればと。あれはかわいそうな子なのです。
Guy couldn't read the man's mutated expression. All he could tell... Oh my... His face is so mutated you can't read his expression. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. This really is a world. It's a world. It's something. All you could tell was that his eyes were calm.
お分かりの通り、あの子は貴族であったのでしょう。全身のノーブルタトゥーはあまりに精巧だ。
偽物ではないでしょう。
そう、本物です。貴族を屈服させたがる欲求を持つ人は、ここにああいった門の偽物を彫ると言います。しかし、あれは本物だ。捨てられてしまったのです、あの子は。
His calm eyes shook, like a faint breeze rippling across the water.
文字通りの捨て子です。あの子は最下層の閉作に捨てられた。あの子にとって仮想のすべては絶望の表れです。何も知らない。何もあの瞳には映らない。せめて美しいものをとここへ来ても、あの子は何も言わなかった。あの子は諦めてしまった。出会った時すでに何もかも。
まだ早い。
There are still 20 hours left. It's not over yet.
はい。私はあの子に諦めてほしくない。希望はきっとある。きっといつか都市を包む霧は晴れる。そうでないはずがない。10年後か20年後か、この都市をこのままになど神がそうされるはずはないと信じています。いつか希望は空から降り注ぐ。その時、
God?
あの子には生きていてほしい。あの子にだけは。
So they literally cannot leave the city because there's mist surrounding it. And there's probably creatures in the mist. That's what I'm gathering. Right? Because if they could, why wouldn't they leave the city, right? I mean, the city is hell reincarnated. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's that extreme, but it's like, it's rough down here. There's the oddity. Guy saw one thing in the old man's words which stood out. He definitely said something Guy wasn't used to hearing. What? The mist? A foreign Sekien word. In this city, no, in this whole continent, neither before nor after the city was sealed. That concept had never existed in the known world. The city is sealed. Okay, that makes sense. God. He who watches over all from the highest place. He who shines in the sky. A great merciful being who saved people with incredible miracles and reigned over all happiness.
ミスター、もしや
What is that expression?
あなたの血は。
ええ。私はハーフで、それ
Oh.
ゆえにろくな仕事はあまりいただけません。それに追い先もそう長くない。何かを、せめて健康な体を。あの子には残してやりたい。せめて昼間を歩くことのできる体を、絶望せずに明日を夢見られる体を。
ハーフとおっしゃいましたね、ミスター。
ええ。
しかしあなたはご高齢に見える。失礼ながら。
Sorry, hold on. When did he say half? Oh, half Sekien. Okay. Yeah.
ああ、そうですね。私の体はあなたのおっしゃる通りですよ。本来なら20歳に満たない年齢のはずだ。
Oh my. Oh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. No, that's crazy.
しかし、私 私の話などどうでもいい、ドクター。
I'm 20, man. Imagine my life ending right now, bro. I mean, it does seem like a long life to me since it's all I know, right? But oh, wow. How old is he? Probably in his like 30s. I mean, if he's expected to live in it like 20 years old, he's probably in his 30s, maybe. Is he? I don't know. Whatever. If he's like really aging, then all right. It doesn't matter. The old man shook his head. No, he wasn't old. He was a young man who looked old. That's so crazy.
いえ、違います。彼女にとって必要なことです。
He's probably your age, Guy.
私の身の上が？
はい。
そうですか。別段隠し事をするつもりはありません。私にとって時は平等でないのです。体だけでなく、きっと脳とか心というものがね、老いていく。止めることはできません。だから私はせめて彼女を残したい。この世界に。
Guy's eye clearly saw this man's wavering eyes leak water. He wasn't lying. That meant...
私を傲慢だと言うでしょうか、ドクター。神を私のためだけに信じる私を。
いいえ、ミスター。誰一人。あなたの言う神でさえ、あなたを蔑む者はいない。私は、神が実在するかは知りません。ミスター・スミス。神の奇跡は。
wait.
だが、あなたのもたらすそれはある。
Yeah, God has abandoned this city, man. He said it like Mr. Smith, like Mr. Smither. Like, I can't get over how they say these names, like Mr. Smither. Stanislaw is also a clean name, bro. Bro. If I was on the street, man, if someone give me a nickname like Stanislaw, bro, oh my, you know I'd be the plug. You know I'd be the coldest motherfucker on the streets, man. I'd be. I had that sticky weed on me. I have everything, bro. However, you might be capable of creating one. Doctor. I love like the Japanese accent of doctor. Doctor. Oh man, come on, dog. Come on.
治療を開始しましょう。あなたはこの事態の中で唯一の奇跡だ。
20 hours remaining. Only 20 hours. No.
時間は十分にある。始めましょう。
Okay, sure. Oh, it's the prince scheming. Oh, no, man. The sound of a clock. Is it time? Is it time? It continues to call. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The second hand moves. It stops, pointing right at 0 o'clock. It is a pocket watch of white silver. It is a pocket watch carried by one man. The golden spiral staircase towering into the darkness. The man standing at the foot of it is none other than the silver watch's own. Why are we... I don't get this. What is this? What's the point of this? With his master in the corner of his eye continuing to climb the golden spiral staircase, the man continues to gaze at the watch motionless. The man continues to gaze at the watch and speaks. Like a chrome-built, machine-wound doll in an inorganic voice...
時間だ。大いなるクリッターの一橋、幼女。感染し、拡大を続ける無限の狂った歯。かのペトロブナに率いられる無数の。そのうちの一体がそこにある。
You are not Igor! You are not Igor from Persona 3, man! You are not him! This is not the Velvet Room! Oh my gosh, y'all trying to copy Persona so bad. When did this come out? I have no idea, man.
貴様にやれるかどうか。惨めな機械使い。 我なら生きる。
I think they're watching. Yeah, they're definitely watching over Gi. They have to be watching over Gi. Because they're referring to him as a Kikai user. And Gi is a Kikai user, right? And they're mentioning the Aberitis here, up here, right? The flower continuing to spread infection. So what is this? Is this like God? Or is this the prince? Like, I'm mad confused.
貴様の刃も熱も通じましょう。せめていいよ、
I like this song. I like this song. They go crazy on the violin. I'll begin the healing. Gi told him that. Oh my god, sorry. Gi told him that and went back inside. The sound he made by opening the door was a bit rough, but he didn't care. Unbelievable conditions had aligned here. Conditions that the three children never had. He wouldn't hesitate. At least he was hoping he wouldn't. Gi, big body, let's go! The two girls appeared to be talking about something. Kia looked forward toward them in shock. Look at her eyes! Look how shiny they are.
ああ、
それともあなたの気が変わったの？
What if this is like the prince's daughter? Or the prince's younger sister? I don't know.
君は外科手術用のセットを持っていたね。
I'm talking about Kia.
いいんで安く買ったあれだ。机の上に広げて。どれでもいい。
Oh, no way. A surgery?
違う。話が変わったんだ。直ちにドロシーの手術を開始する。時間が
Oh.
ない。使えるものは全て使う。
You gotta do what you gotta do.
はい。でも
We're desperate. We're desperate, Kia.
ケイヤさんと話していたの、ドクター。
You have to say goodbye.
ことは言ってください。私はもう
Well, do you prefer to get eaten alive by your freaking plant disease? Like, what? Come on. Pick a fight. I'm already beyond hope.
僕は依頼を受けた。
I received a request from Kia. Why am I reading that? I'll reject Dorothy's words. I've already decided to do what I should do.
依頼を受けた。デコイメスマー。術式開始だ。キア、下がっていなさい。
Talk to him! Get him, Gi, get him! Go for it, Gi, let's
ど
go!
うしたの急に。
Big body!
なんだか怖い。
I can't clap my hands because I'm holding my 3DS.
キア、下がって。
Gi, big body. Big body on these lame ass. I don't even. I was about to say something crazy. The 150th time. My consciousness will focus on that alone. He tried to say something calming to her, but then he noticed Mr. Smith re-entering the room. He moved out of the old man's way. The old man approached the desk. He actually approached the row of scalpels Kia had laid out. He took the largest scalpel in his right hand and held out his left. An arm covered in animal fur, unlike any humans. He held it out toward Dorothy.
ドロシー、
Dorothy.
私の声は届かないだろう。それでも構わない。構わないんだ。
Big body Smith? Big body Mr. Smith?
これは私のエゴでしかないのだろう。けれど、それを
Let your ego talk, man. Talk to him! Dorothy won't look at the old man.
君は私の残すものだけを受け取りなさい。初めて君の手を握った時、私は私にできるすべてをすると決めた。
ミスター、何を。危ないです。そんなものを持っては。
It's a 2v2, man. He and Mr. Smith versus the two
いいね。
the two kids. Alright. Kia, what,
震えてる。
what do you expect me to do? What reason did you bring me here for, Kia?
これですべていいんだ、お嬢さん。
Oh my god! That scared. That scared me, bruh. The sound of slicing. After all those words and noises, red drops began to spurt upward. What came out of the old man's wrist was red. The same color as the human's. No way! Blood poured out of the vein on his wrist. He did that to stop shaking? Bro, chill. We got this. Get out! Oh my god! Let's go, Gi! Let's go, Gi! Shout his name, man! The old man had sliced his own wrist without hesitation. The red pouring out of it scattered around the room. Gi pushed Kia back as she screamed, "Why?" This was only the beginning. But the blood continued to flow, even seeping into the floor. At long last, it touched Dorothy's toes. Why her toes? It was like the clear stream flowing through the first upper-tier staircase park. The red touching her toes was leniently redirected toward the corners of the room. Give her some anesthesia. Please. The girl's screams echoed across the room. They broke the silence filling their surroundings. Her red eyes shook. It was clear that her mind was receiving a huge shock. Gi's eye captured the change in her body temperature. Her shaking eyes. Her shaking mind. Her screams wouldn't stop. Kia said something and pulled at his sleeve. It felt as if she was trying to tear it off. Yes, that was it. He didn't mind doing it this way. That inside of her was beginning to awaken. It had nothing to do with death. It saw the blood and moved. This pouring, flowing blood. Sekien blood. The only source of it in the city. It captivated creatures more than any other. Sekien blood, which the legend said was cursed. The red covered the room completely. If this much of it flowed out, that wouldn't be able to look away. It'll see it and move. It can't keep possessing her. What is this exorcism type? I don't know, man. Oh, look at his expression! Look at his expression, man! Oh my gosh, look at his focus. Ah! Let's go! That was fire! Oh, here we go. Screaming. There was a shadow crawling its way out of her. The black vines undulated. Undulated? Undulated? I don't know. And extended. And the Yuki began to appear. As if feeling from the girl's body. This thing had built its nest within her. I'd been slowly eating away at her body and soul. Oh, yeah. This thing had brought so many people to their deaths. It had lived within their bodies and souls while slowly destroying them. It was like an undulating spiral. The Black Death curled up above her. I'd been waiting. I'd been waiting for you to show yourself. Ooh, Smith teeing up too. Oh, he's getting mad. Oh. Oh. Oh my. Ah, that voice acting is amazing.
得され神よお前の存在など認めない
Oh, you can hear the venom in his voice.
トロシー待っていろ今そいつを君から引き剥がしてやるドクター頼む
The scream of an old man who should have lost all his strength by now. Guy nodded and... Oh no! No! When it gives you this music, you already know you have to do a choice. Oh! It's always... Oh, shoot. Oh, no! I wanted to save here. Damn it, no! I don't think it'll let me save here. There's too much going on. It doesn't like when there's music playing in the background. It's fine because I can skip to here. I can skip to here pretty quickly, but if it froze... Oh, no, we good, let's go! Alright. Just let it do its thing, bro. Hey, bro, you sound like Michael Jackson right now. Like, come on, get on with the song, man. Nah, I definitely broke it, bro. Alright, let's, Oh, no, we good. Michael Jackson sounding at. Alright. Like, you are not Michael Jackson. I need his, alright. Bro, you gotta grasp it, man. You gotta grasp it. Yank it out! Guy held out his hand, as if to grasp onto something. He held it out toward the girl who continued to scream and convulse. His posture resembled that of the old man before he slashed his wrist. Oh my gosh, you know he said that with some some racial prejudice. You black twisted monster. Like, damn. Those words were the key. A warped thing crawls all the way out and attacks the old man. No way. Ugh. Why it looks so evil? Its whole body, patterned after a spring. You are not Sonic. Dorothy screamed as it showed itself behind her. A warped fantasy. Its form resembled a monstrously distorted plant, making horrible grating sounds as it continued to spread throughout the residence. Its skin was similar to blackened blood. The plant had a certain fantastic beauty to it. Everything composing it invaded humans, broke their minds and bodies, and ridiculed them. A beast. A true beast. This is no flower. This is no mutated fantastical plant. He knew. All of the nerves in Guy's body shivered naturally. His body, used to terror, shook and became numb. That terrible, sick feeling was none other than terror. This beast called forth the original terrors of the human race. There's no way a creature could be here. Thus screams my reason. The spring pattern covering its plant-like form is producing a grinding sound. Its host was still alive at that death. She'd even evaded the upper tier enforcers, and there was still Sekien blood in the city. Guy knew that form. Yoki, creature blood tree. A creature that produced infinite false bodies of itself through either reproductive division or seed scattering. This creature was the most famous in the city's lower tiers and had produced the most casualties. An existence to be abhorred. One of the 41 creatures that devoured people. One of the 41 great terrors that covered the city. There's no way I wouldn't know. The creatures. They are a terror given powerful form. During the height of this thing's onslaught, the Sekiens called it none other than the devil. Perhaps it was a punishment brought about by the Sekien's god. a punishment for those who sung of prosperity in foreign lands, an inescapable fury that refused life. The Sekians called it divine wrath, and screamed in terror and awe. Guy knew nothing of any god. However, he did know exactly what this thing was. Something that killed people. A death which greedily devoured and bred. These weren't objects but phenomena. The last university professor screamed so as they died. Something that people's hands will never reach. Something which can harm anything and anyone.
お前と会うの
Guy held out his hand toward the undulating red-black death. A steel-colored hand overlaps Guy's right hand. Ooh! The right hand of steel tears through the darkness, covered in a steel helmet, a single light shining sharply.
これで
Ooh!
150回目だそろそろ打ち砕かれてもいい頃だ
Talk to him!
僕と彼のこの手がお前を掴むクリッターブラッドツリー
Whenever he says that, man, I get giddy. He silently extended his right hand forward. He also extended his steel right hand forward as if tracing a path. It moves. Yes, this thing moves. It actually moves as I will it. Nothing was wrong with his vision. There was no clown. Instead, he knew that there was a fantastic shadow behind him. He extended his steel arm and saw the same things as him. The mid-sized creature peering down. One of the 41 deaths. Even without activating his equation, he could see it. He wiped out the presence, bringing him terror. He and Guy glared at the plant's core. My right hand. It directs the steel hand as if it were my own. This isn't the phenomenon equation. It's a persona. However, somehow it feels real. There was something that he at his back could do. There was something that he and Guy needed to do. What must I do with this hand? I know the answer. Just like with Salem, whatever. With Guy standing in its way, the world roared. Countless seeds blew around them and produced phenomena. He could see it literally scattering death. Guy's right eye had already captured everything about the creature. Black seeds which absorbed human minds and bodies. Those were death itself. Amalgamations of death. Warped death. A phenomenon of death able to make people disappear without a trace. It scattered the seeds of death. The targets of those lances were Guy and him. The flickering cluster of seeds fills the space. So fast, my eyes can't follow them. Mortal bodies could hardly hope to dodge them, except perhaps for Pukil soldiers, with their sharply honed nervous reflexes, or heavy-engine humans with nerve reconstruction. But even if they did manage to dodge the seeds, they would have been eaten away by the warp space they produced. And yet, he was alive. Guy still lived. He stood there without even a scratch. In the very air, the quasi-plant seeds had warped. As did Kia, Dorothy, and the old man. He wouldn't let them be infected. That hand cut down all the seeds in flight.
遅いわめか
Ooh. He glared at the roaring black whirl with his right eye. That was probably a cry of panic just now. It destroyed people's cranial nerves, planting seeds of death or insanity. And yet he was alive. Guy still hadn't died. He probably would have died if this had happened not too long ago. But right now, the steel him was protecting Guy. He wouldn't die, not yet. He focused his mind into his glaring right eye. His right eye saw all of the rampant black whirl. Creatures are indestructible. Physical destruction is impossible. In the case of Blood Tree, the sole means of destruction is simultaneous pressurization of all body parts.
なるほど確かに人は君に何もできないだろう
The warped death Blood Tree, with an epidermis which repelled all and a body protected as if by gods. Therefore, humans couldn't possibly kill it. The sole means of destruction was full body pressurization. Therefore, humans absolutely could not kill it. The black whirl which had taken 149 lives right before Guy's eyes. Not a plant, but a shadow that ridiculed all life. bombs and bullets would warp and disappear before ever reaching that body. However,
けれどどうやら鋼の彼は人ではない。
my right eye sees, as if coupled with my right hand.
鋼の君、我が機械ポルシオ。僕は君にこういう王の飼いなよ。打ち砕け。
Shattering to dust, blowing away. A king's hands covered in steel. These enormous forms destroy even beasts. The iron hands of a fairy tale king. His right hand was steel summoned from an open steel chest. Together with matter at ultra-high densities, it assailed the black world, destroying the beast in an instant. The creature was overwhelmed and destroyed by the high-density matter before it even had a chance to scream. Every part of the black world's body was scattered into particles. The remnants of that tremendous beating were left behind, as if blown apart. The soundless park shook.
音が聞こえるはずだ。オルガンの音だけがこの子のすべて。最後に残った唯一のもの。きっとこの子は思っているのだ。奏でる音だけが安らぎなんだ。
He was sure this girl thought that way. Oh, still talking.
私もあの子は呼ばない。エンジン式パイプオルガンを奏でるコードはたまったままで何も口にしてくれない。硬い鍵盤を優美に奏でるその腕、その小さな手の音で私は今昨日のように覚えている。 あの時も今も私はこの子を救えてはいない。救えてはいないのだ。神の真似をして血を支払っても私は私でしかない。音が聞こえる今日耳を澄ませること、それだけが今の私にできるすべてだ。これは音ではない。 音ではなかった。私の望んだものだ。これは私がずっと望んでいたあの子。
スリス、どうしてこんな。
Look at her! The vines are gone.
どうしてこんなに違う。あなたもこんなにどうして私のために。
Drops were falling. They mixed into the red of the floor. The old man collapsed. He'd fallen face down the moment the black whirl of death disappeared. The sound he made was soft. Guy stopped the bleeding with his phenomenon equation, but he'd lost too much blood. He'd cut his vein too deeply. Restoring the wound itself was easy, but making up for the lost blood wasn't. Normally, he'd use the phenomenon equation to substitute healthy muscles for the lost blood. But the old man's body is wasted away. There isn't enough. Dorothy held the old man. He was light enough to be held in her slender hands. His Sekien blood had done that. Unspeakable discrimination had forced him to work harder than most. Holy. He could barely make enough money to feed one person, no matter how much he worked as a day laborer. What did Sekuians do? What even is a Sekien? I don't... Dog.
ドクターが教えてくれたんだよ。僕の父の血があれを予期さます。君の体から。
The black whirl reacts strongly to his blood. It's enough to make it materialize outside its host.
泣かないで。私のために泣かないでくれ。ドロシー、君は覚えていないだろうね。私は君の登録養父である前に、それより以前に君の弾くオルガンのファンなんだ。だから泣かないでおくれ。かわいい私のドロシー。
The old man's words grew hoarse from the tears. Tears. Yes, tears. Those two hadn't lost them. That's why Dorothy's still alive. That's why he hurt himself.
一度も望んでいないんだから。バカ。
Her words were fierce. However, they didn't have the same ring to them as they used to. It was different from the sound of her organ. Guy wished it was different from the melody Kia had spoken of. Guy felt something warm slipped into his hand. A small white hand. A small white hand. Kia was holding his hand softly. The small hand held on tight. And I'll hold hers too. That small hand wishes for the same things I do.
呼んでくれるのかい、君は。私のことを。
私は死んでしまうからあなたに何も残せはしないから。あなたの記憶の中にもいるまいと、そう決めて。
それは無理な話だよ。かわいいドロシー。私は言ったろう。最初から君のファンだよ。オルガン弾きの君。喝采せよ、喝采せよ。
What in the world?
おお、おお、素晴らしきかな。第三の階段を盲目の生贄が登るのだ。
What are wrong with these people, man?
現在時刻を記録せよ。
Click, click, clack, clack, chrome! Let's go! Oh my gosh, that is so fire! The way he says that.
貴様の望んだその時だ。レムルレムル、震えるがよい。
Is that God? Is that Zeus?
黄金螺旋階段の果てに我が夢、我が愛の形あり。
He climbs, he climbs, he climbs. One master climbs the golden spiral staircase. He's the controller. He is the grand prince. He is the fool. The king of Inganock. The magician and scholar who discovered the phenomenon equation. He climbs the golden spiral staircase. One step at a time. Even now, he aims for the peak. He desires that at the highest place. And that which stands at the peak laughs. Even now. Dude, what is happening? I don't get it. It lies at the end of the golden spiral staircase. A dark, confined space where the dregs of the king's dreams sleep. He who is trapped within the darkness laughs. Even now.
最後の機会を無駄にして。
What? He who is trapped within the darkness laughs. Even now, he raises a voice of exaltation and extends his hand. However, there's no way that hand will move. Under the darkness, that hand merely writhes. His left hand merely writhes. Is that the source of all evil? Like, what is happening, dog? The source of the monsters? That black web that shows... I don't... Dog. It's trying to be confusing. I don't even know, man. You know what? I'm curious. I wonder... Because there was different choices, right? And there doesn't seem to be too many choices in this game. Well, okay, look. I played Tsukaheim. Tsukaheim has a lot of choices. Tsukaheim is the visual novel I played that had like just the most amount of choices. Like, I have never seen so many choices. Holy man. Yeah, I didn't try all the choices just because there were so many branches. It was like, oh my, I did get all the endings, but nah. The choices, nah. Alright, let's see what happens if we choose the other things. Let's see if we can even load in. This might bug out. Let's see. Alright. Closed his eyes. You have to go through this torture? Mr. Smith is going to kill me after this, bro. From the mouth of Dorothy, who continued to scream. From the toes to the fingertips of her convulsing limbs, death itself was taking form. It pulled itself out of the body it constricted, searching for the prey, the blood it desired. The flowing Sekien blood. Yearning for that, it writhed and appeared. No, dog. Those were his last words. A warped thing crawls all the way out and attacks the old man. And he dies. This is fine. Guy closed his eyes. He could hear Kia and Dorothy screaming, but he didn't care. This was what the man had wished for. He could hear the old man's voice. He was pretty sure he'd said thank you. He with the body of an old man had wished for this because his blood was useful. Because his own blood could save her. Because offering it to that would release his daughter. That was the reason he'd given his life to Guy. The reason he threw it away. This was the end of Guy's 10 years. Now he stood still. He gave up on the life flowing through his fingers. The time has come. This moment. What in the world? Oh, the clown is back, man. The illusion which should have been at the edge of his darkened vision. He saw the clown once more. Guy had given up at last. With his eyes closed, he listened to the old man and the girl scream. Their voices certainly sounded sad. The clown said, "Welcome back?" That's the despair clown. I don't know about that. That's the Junko clown. Oh, spoilers. Ayo. If I don't mention the game, it isn't spoilers. Y'all don't know what game I'm talking about. Y'all don't know what game I'm talking about. Alright, no. Let's go back in. Let's get back in here. I'm going crazy. The genocide route. Yes, sir. This is what happens when you play on VNDS, guys. Don't get me wrong, I love VNDS, but it's not perfect, as you see. I think it froze. I'm gonna be real, man. If it froze, man, I'm gonna have to, like, reload Twilight menu. Which is fine, I can do that. Come on. One more choice I want to do. There's one more choice. Alright, yeah, it's probably frozen. I'll cut back to when I get to the choice. Yes, sir! We are back! Alright, let's go... Let's speak to it. Why not? From the mouth of Dorothy, who continued to scream. From the toes to the fingertips, yeah. It pulled itself out of the body it constricted, searching for the prey, the blood it desired. The flowing Sekien blood. Yearning for that, it writhed and appeared. Those words were the key. A warped thing crawls all the way out and attacks the old man. He was being devoured. The old man was being devoured by the thing flowing out of his daughter. Those were his last words. The old man's body was quickly devoured by the black swirl. This is fine. This is... Guy closed his eyes. He could hear Kia and Dorothy screaming, but he didn't care. This was what the man had wished for. He could hear the old man's voice. He was pretty sure he'd said thank you. This was the end of Guy's 10 years. He stood still. He gave up on the life flowing through his fingers. And that time has come, this moment. Clown. Yeah, Sayonara. Bye-bye. The illusion which should have been at the edge of his darkened vision. He saw the clown once more. Guy had given up at last. With his eyes closed, he listened to the old man and the girl scream. Their voices certainly sounded sad. The clown said, "Welcome back." Okay. That was pretty much the same. Bet. We were here. Black screen. Alright. Under the darkness, that hand merely writhes. His left hand merely writhes. 2 knocks without reservation. Yeah, I think he's dead. Either he's dead or his arm is like... No, he's dead, yeah. 2 knocks without reservation. The front door opened before he could answer. How boisterous. This was the first time that boy had come here. The black crow was on his shoulder, same as always. My boy Mies, bro. The homie Mies. Bro, he's so cool with the black crow on his shoulder. Like, bro, if you have a black crow on your shoulder and you stand like that, you're cool, man. I don't know what else to say about you. I don't want to mess with you, bro. You're cool. His voice was energetic. he's got like main character energy, man. Like, I mean, come on, a kid with a crow he always like has on his side, like that's main character energy right there, man. Oh, here we go. Kia ain't here, bruh. Me's really talked to the twin. He mad horny, bro. Bro, stop hitting on my boy Gi. Well, duh. Oh my lord, Mies. No, Mies, you're going down my character list. That boy was such a... Well, clearly he'd come for Kia. No, I'm kidding. Mies the goat. Mies the goat. Unfortunately, she wasn't there today. Gi was alone in the apartment. Bro, chill out. Neko? Bro, chill. Yeah, it's a she, man. Oh, Yi, bro. Yi, I hate this guy for real. That's crazy. He was about to go off and I interrupted him. He told me in a low voice. Gi shrugged his shoulders and tossed the letter into the wastebasket. Wait, what? Her friend is very beautiful, Gi said. No way you said that. Gi, you kind of falling for Addy? I can kind of see it. It was a letter from the old man, his will. Something he'd left behind after deciding to give up his blood. A legal city statement saying that after he died, his sparse assets would go to Gi and Dorothy. Huh? Gi, me? He really liked me like that. Gi rolled it up and threw it out. It was nothing more than scrap paper. Damn, bro. Take what you can. They could hear that sound again today. The melody was being played again today. A weekend day. The people of the city gathered here like they always did. They lent their ears to the melody, not knowing from whence it came. A beautiful, somehow ephemeral sound. It was meant for the people in the hope that it might provide them with temporary reprieve. They could hear that sound again today. Yes, sir, Dorothy! That melody was being played. The engine-type organ hadn't changed one bit. There was only one sole difference. Only one. One thing's been added to the organ's melody. A single feeling. Here we go, back in hell. This is what I refer to as the back in hell music. This always plays when you're in the lowest parts of Inganock. Here we go. Morning at the city skyscraper. Oh, is this Addy? Among the citizens commuting between the industrial and city management buildings, in the corridors connecting the two buildings, two shadows stood in front of a squatter's cardboard house. The black cat and the bird. Yes! Arr! Addie, I missed you, baby. I missed you. Both of them were runners. Most of their work took place around the city skyscraper. Normally, they wouldn't walk through these corridors so conspicuously. They couldn't even begin to count the number of buildings they assaulted in the past. They were able to stay still right now because they didn't stand out so much. Their clothes were armored, yet easy to move in. There were many industrialists who wore armored, reconstructed cloaks. Being armed and on one's guard wasn't that unusual. Money gathered there, so naturally danger gathered there too. That was why they found it so easy to blend in with the crowd. And most of all, today they were rather conspicuous entities standing very close to them. I wonder, hold on, I wasn't even, I didn't comprehend that. They assaulted in the past, both of them were runners. Being armed and on one's guard wasn't that unusual. Money gathered there. Danger gathered. Oh, okay. So it's so shady that it's not unusual that you see shady people there. Alright. My boy David! Addie, you are you are throwing strays at this man. What? Nah. I mean, surely your intelligence must not have diminished. Just maybe your brain has, you know, cat-like behaviors, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I don't think, like, her brain literally shrunk to accommodate the size of, like, a cat's brain, you know what I mean? But even a cat could remember her assignments. Discover the cause of the abnormal distribution of engine energy. That was city management's request. Rare things did happen. City management inherited its administration rights from the upper tier, so they were usually the runners' enemies. Oh, pardon me. Whenever these two assaulted an information storehouse or vault, they were seen as enemies or perhaps just targets. Bro, David is already catching strays. My man, David, man. Who the heck? I have no idea what they're doing, I'm gonna be real with you. Something about engine distribution, abnormal, whatever, but I don't know what they're, like, speaking about. She glanced behind her. A sea of steel armor. Defensive equation tattoos carved into each one. They resembled noble tattoos. Fully armed upper-tier soldiers. Holy, this guy is big body. Wow. I mean, you got all those tattoos, and you got the full body armor, and you got that big sword? Who's stopping you? Who is stopping you, man? Normally, they'd be running the moment they saw them. Emotionless, half-mechanical soldiers who guarded the city management and upper-tier facilities, though they were originally designed to just protect the upper-tier itself. Upper-tier soldiers. Engine humans, sometimes referred to as knights.
そうそう、お決まりのパターンさ。もう飽き飽き。
だな。だがそううまくいくことを祈るぜ。せいぜいうまく横取りしてほしいもんだ。触れちゃなんねえ情報のレッドゾーンに触れでもしたら俺たちはたちまち。
平気、そんなヘマしないさ。私たちはプロなんだから。
違いね。
This is a delinquent duo for real. The insolent bird shrugged his wings. Nah, but it still ain't as cool as like Addy and Guy. Addy and Guy, that's like a whole nother level of duo. A skillful gesture. Addy shrugged her shoulders as well. The man she'd imitated was making a pale
依頼
face.
は完遂するさ。いつも通り。
Oh, I never seen that grin from her. That's cool. That's cute. I like that. She about to die? Chapter 4. I couldn't read that. Analysis depth 2. Let me save right quick. This is perfect time to save. Yes, sir. I'm almost out of water. Oh my, I turned my mic off and drank so much water, y'all. Oh my gosh, man. So much water. Please let me save. Please let me save. One hour and 30 minutes. I might go longer. I don't know. We'll see. These episodes are usually 1 hour and 50 minutes. I might go longer. Analysis depth 2. Dialogue with high density information entity. Oh, what the heck? Is this like a plot dump? A lore dump? Within the darkness. I start a dialogue with the creature.
なぜそれが起きたのか。都市計画は完全だった。生産性を埋放した人間のための完全な都市空間。そう。アーコロジー。農業、漁業、工業、商業のすべてを都市一つに内包し、外部との接触を行わずに孤立しても生き続ける。永遠の都市だ。千年王国だと聖教の人々は呼ぶだろう。そう。まさに夢の楽土だ。誰もが不可能であると言った。机上の空論ですらないと。だが、一人の天才がそれを可能とした。大公爵、アステア。誰もが彼を信じた。
Yes, everyone. I didn't expect that to pull up. I chime in as the voice speaks. Yes, it's as you say. No one wished for the present city. Within my hazy memories, I begin to think. People must have dreamed of a tomorrow back then. Inganock. This place is no longer paradise, but the fantastic city.
お前たちもこんな都市は望んでいないはずだ。
はあ、お前とはきっと分かり合えると思っていたよ。ギー、愛すべき生贄よ。
What? Why is Guy a sacrifice? Ah, that's right, creature. What? Huh?
なんだった？
Yo, I am so confused. What was that even supposed to be?
依頼？僕に？そう、お前さんの指名依頼だよ、ギー。驚くなかれ。一級市民からの治療依頼だ。
Bro.
これはめったにあることじゃないぞ。
Bro, I only seen you in like the first episode. Why do you decide to pop your head up again?
わざわざ会員前の忙しい時にお前さんを呼びつけたのは冗談でもなんでもないさ。私はめったに冗談を言わないしな。馴染みの情報屋が持ってきた話なんだ。私への依頼と思ったがどうやら違う。
一級市民クライン氏からの治療依頼だ。場所は都市マテンロ。
As Iralee said that, he theatrically handed Guy a telegraph notice. The seal was city management's. It was a real notice using an official telegraph. Rare things did happen sometimes. Oh wow. An official telegraph notice in the 7th tier. Guy thought it must have been some kind of mistake.
そんな顔するな。鑑定を小林連中に頼んだが本物だよ。
ずいぶん気前がいいな。
それはそうと電新聞の内容だ。なかなかにロマンチックな文章なんだこれが。お前さんも読んでみるといい。
いくらかかる？
ロハだよこの程度は。
冗談だったんだがね。
お前の冗談は笑えないんだよギー。ほら読んでみろって。
Guy looked down at the notice in his hands. A message sent with an antiquated telegraph. A telegram. Some people called them wires. Now that wireless telecommunications devices had made simultaneous calling possible, telegrams like this were rare. His eyes followed the printed letters. A notice recorded in the form of a telegram. A request for Dr. Guy. Please come to the number 10 storage building in Ward A. It's one of the high-rise buildings in the city skyscraper. What? City skyscraper? Does this have something to do with Addie? I want you to save the one human being left inside that unowned storage building. Ruaha Klein, who I raised lovingly. Please find a way to save my child. First-class citizen Arthur Klein.
これだけか。
これだけだ。
病状は？
不明さ。その微妙に私的なような文章だけ。しかし割が悪いとは思わないでほしいな。報酬はかなりいい。クライン氏の名義で口座が開設されている。通知書番号を入力すれば中が開く。というわけで、すでに報酬はいただいているわけだよ。さすがは一級市民、前払いだ。
取り分はい
つも通りだ。
君が2割か。
A finder's fee for Iralee. His normal rate is 20%, but his expression was clearly blinded by money. 20 definitely wouldn't be enough.
3割？
ケチケチするなよ。私たちの中だ。山分けと行こうじゃないか。
No! What? What is wrong with this guy? Just for finding the patient? Get out of here, bro.
4割か。
Thank you.
お前さんと私はいい友人関係を。
Iralee, shut up, bro.
今でも続いてるのは私だけだろ。
Iralee, I don't give a crap, bro. No, we shouldn't, bro. Oh my, you're weird for that.
わかったよ。5割だな。
No, I deny him out of spite, bro. What is that? What is that? No way he just did that. For finding a sick person, you get 50%? I'm the doctor, I do all the doctoring, and then you just find the patient just lying there and you want 50% of the cut? Like what? No way, man. Look at your attire. You look like a noble. This mother. Oh my. The game is making him unlikable. They know what they're doing. I can't even be mad at that. I can't even be mad at this line. This is absurd. This is absurd, bro. Not this again. Analysis depth 3. Might as well save here. I don't know about you, Iralee. Iralee! You're weird for that. What monster are we talking to, bruh? Dialogue with high density information entity. Within the darkness, I continue my dialogue with the creature.
10年前、人々と大公爵の夢を打ち砕くかの復活がこの都市に権限した。悪夢のような無限儀、肉体の変に年を招く奇妙の流行。巨大湖の上にあったことも災いして、我らの都市は世界から完全に孤立した。そして41体の俺たちがクリッターがインガノックに現れた。分かっているのだろう、ギー。
They said we. So that is a creature. I was right, that is a creature.
あ
Was it the prince or something? Yeah, I understand. An age of death began that day, and it has yet to end. People are still living by the skin of their teeth. There were so many tragedies. The 41 powerful phenomena, fearsome forms of death that ate away at the
そ
people.
の発生と由来は異なるが、今や我々と人は不可分だ。少なくともこの都市においては。分かっているのだろう、ギー。
ああああ分かっているともバンダースナッチ。
Bandersnatch, bro. What? Does he snatch my bands? Bro, if I had the name Bandersnatch, bro, oh my, that is so clean. I would keep that up to my chin. Like, oh my gosh, that is clean. Bandersnatch? Okay. I'm gonna snatch your bands. They call me Bandersnatch. Like, wait, I gotta use that as a bar. Hold on. Yeah, I'm a monster. I'm a monster. I said I'm a monster. I snatch your bands. Call me Bandersnatch. I don't know, dog. I don't know. I gotta incorporate that. This thing drills huge holes as it nests in the souls of the weak. I'll open the lock and go through the front door into the living room. Guy was a bit puzzled. It felt as if his own apartment was someone else's. It still felt like morning. The twittering of the warped birds reached his ears through the window. But that wasn't all that reached his ears. Other sounds did as well. Sounds and a smell? The calming sound of cooking. The smell of cheap synthetic baking cooking in oil. I need some water after this, bruh. Guy turned toward the kitchen. There he saw the girl cooking. Kia was looking the other way. That was why his room felt like someone else's. The sense of life floating through his apartment. It already belonged to her. Almost as if it had been her house to begin with. Guy gazed at her from behind. First he confirmed that she was unhurt. Airly had contacted him before sunrise, telling him to come right away. He'd left her here alone. Of course, he'd requested short-term guarding and surveillance. This time from a Naga boy that Addie knew. Guy didn't recognize him. A wireless telecommunications device. Newer than the machine that had sent the telegraph. He'd used it to make his request of the runner boy. Since I don't know him, I felt somewhat on edge. It looked like she'd spent the past hour without being harmed.
キア、おはよう。すまないね、一人にさせて。
あ、おかえりなさい。戻っていたのね。おはようギー。全然大丈夫よ。怖くなんてなかった。
怖かったのかい？悪いことをしたな。
怖くないです。平気よ。前にもあったから慣れています。
ならいいんだが。
もう少しで朝食できるから。お弁当もちゃんと今日は用意したの。
ああ、ありがとう。
いいえ、どういたしまして。今日は2口くらいは食べてくださいね。
善処するよ。
食べてくださいね。
善処するよ。
もう、頑固なじいさん 先生。倒れてしまったら許さないんだから。
Guy looked at her puff. Oh my gosh. I ran out of water, guys. It's over. It's over for me, man. Guy looked at her, puffing her cheeks. It made him feel somewhat relieved. He hadn't truly felt it until he'd exchanged words with her. She really was unharmed. He really had felt anxious about leaving her with someone he'd never met. He knew the boy through Adi, but still, someone I've never met. I see.
僕を名指ししてはいたが、クライン氏、あなたは僕とは面識がないはずだ。あの子を頼む。
キー、どうかした？
いや、少し考え事をね。キーヤ、今日は少し上へ出かけるよ。
あ、もしかして上層階段公園？ドロシーのところへ行くの？
残念ながらコードの座標は近いけれどね。豊島天狼へ行くんだ。さっきエラリーから治療依頼を受けた。第一級市民の所有するビルディングへね。
豊島天狼？
うん。
聞き覚えはあるのだけど、豊島天狼と
知らないな。
Guy was a little surprised. He tried to prevent his expression from changing. The girl said she didn't know where the city skyscraper was, the center of the city, its heart. Even the citizens' education program taught that. He'd confirmed this before when he glanced over the children's curriculum. The city skyscraper, where the city's information accumulated, where it was managed, and where engine energy was distributed on large scales. Inganock City Management was in charge of the administration engines which managed all of the lower tiers. In a sense, it was the place closest to the upper tier. In terms of distance, the upper tier staircase parks were technically closer. Hold on. Oh, okay. The center of the city, huh? I see. Oh, so it's like the centerpiece where all the big things happen. But in terms of function, the city skyscraper was... Oh. Okay, in terms of distance, the upper tier staircase parks were technically closer, but in terms of function, okay, yeah. More importantly, it was the only economic ward. No other tier had one of those. It was strange for Kia to have not heard of it at her age. She said she's heard of it. I certainly have mentioned it.
例えばキーヤが第1層や2層の箱入りだったとして、家庭教師がつくだろう。彼らが教えずにいるようだ。
See, things are not adding up, Guy. Just think about it, man.
両親の会話の上に出てこないだろうか。
Yo, imagine the mist actually went away and freaking Kia walked through it, and then nobody inside the city knows the mist went away. And then the ending plot twist of the game is that Kia tells Guy, "Oh yeah, I'm not from around here. The mist, there's no mist. What mist?" And then Guy is like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "No, I could have left this city. No." Imagine, bro. That would be foul. No way, man.
キーヤ、たまに部屋の明かりが消えるだろ。
ええ、突然真っ暗になったり、でも別の区画の明かりはついていて。
あれは豊島天狼にある管理部の運営に異常が起きてる証なんだ。明かりが消えてから再びつくまでの間に管理部の職員やエネルギー企業の社員が ライフラインエンジンの修理をしているんだ。
そうなの。すごく重要で大切な場所なのね。
ああ、そうだよ。
Guy wasn't lying, but he hadn't told her everything. The city skyscraper certainly was the center of energy management, but its greatest distinction was being an economic ward. Dirty money always gathered there, money from exploiting people in the lower tiers. Taxes and industrial profits were all the same. This girl, she doesn't have to know that yet. He didn't want her to know about the rampant filth in this city. It would surely darken Kia's expression. She'd probably find out sooner or later. Guy didn't have to be the one to tell her.
エゴイストだな。
思い出したわ。そういえばアティが言っていたもの。豊島天皇でお仕事をするって。アティがいつもお仕事をする場所、豊島天皇。そうでしょ？ギね？正解かしら？
ああ、正解だ。
Come to think of it, when did the black cat say that? When I wasn't around? Maybe a half hour or so before morning?
分かったわ。豊島天皇に行くのね。もしかしてアティのお手伝い？
いや、違うよ。治療依頼と言っただろ。
そうね、そうよね。アティに会えるのかと思って。
Yeah, please, man.
どちら？
彼女の真似は僕にはできないが、体が持たない。
True. Guy's work and Addie's biz. There was a huge difference between them. The work requests that Addie and other runners received meant and contained entirely different things, though he wouldn't call them polar opposites. Both lines of work were matters of life and death, but Guy couldn't handle hers. He knew all too well that the city needed them. He'd requested a runner today himself, but I could never do it myself. Staining this hand red. I decided I'd do that only to save people.
そういえばキア。
はい。
アティの仕事の内容について何か聞いたか？キ
それは誰にも知り
Oh, come on, man.
言えないわ。
Addie told you to not tell anyone. Kia put a finger to her lips. Guy figured out what had happened. Addie must have told her that such information was a secret. He didn't want her to know about something that dangerous, but it was still reassuring to see her lips were tight. She was pretty strong. Guy heaved a sigh. This girl was stronger than he'd thought. Tight lips were a key to survival. Revealing someone's secrets was a cardinal sin. I don't have to worry about little things like that. She's good at living in the city.
聞けなくて残念だよ。では、食事を終えたら行くとしよう。豊島天皇へ。ね。
はい。
We're back in hell, boys. Alright. There were two ways to reach the city skyscraper. The same two ways used to reach the higher tier plates. One was by using the large staircases connecting the tiers. However, that wasn't very realistic. It consumed far too much time and energy. The second was how they got into the upper tier staircase. Using the ascending monorail. Conveniently, unlike the one to the parks, the rail route to the city skyscraper went through the station closest to them. It was only a few minutes away from Guy's apartment on foot. I'll have to let a few trains pass by first. Most of the ones here won't be going anywhere near the skyscraper. They had to wait for a while. Guy grabbed Kia's outstretched hand and confirmed the status of his cranial organs. No problems there. The phenomenon equation carved into his organs was functioning normally. Guy's mutated brain had granted him special sensory functions. He was able to turn his cranial organs on and off at will.
少々。いつもとそう変わりはしない。 すべきことをするだけだ。
名機
何？
都市をこう作ったのは王様なのよね。上層貴族の誰よりも偉い方。
ああ、そうだよ。
どうして王様はこんなに町を積み上げてしまったの？
Kia's gaze was directed upward, far higher than the seventh tier. She was surely trying to look at the city's skyscraper. Unfortunately, she was looking the wrong way.
アーコロジー計画というものがあってね。それに基づいて都市は設計されたんだ。もっとも、その計画は途中で放棄されてしまったけれどね。今から行く場所には名残があるよ。
アーコロジー計画。それも聞いたことがあるわ。何だったかしら。
生産性を内包した人間のための完全な都市空間。農業、漁業、工業、商業の全てを都市一つに内包し、外部との接触を行わずに孤立しても生き続ける理想都市。それが10年前の歌い文句だ。正確かどうかは覚えていないけれどね。
A self-sufficient city is pretty cool. The ideal of the city plan. Even he was surprised at how well he remembered it. Many of the people in the city couldn't remember the past because doing so would bring back the nightmare of the revival. And yet, that phrase flowed right out of his memory.
思い出した。そう、確かそうなのよね。都市のみんなが暮らしやすくなるための計画。そんな風なことを聞いたことがあるわ。
なぜ大公爵が言い出したのかは誰にもわからないけれどね。
Yes, no one knew the real reasons behind the execution and abandonment of the plan. What do you mean? Wasn't the plan abandoned because of the revival? The plan said to be nothing more than a theory on paper. He tried to build it up and partially succeeded.
もしかしたら彼はできると思いついてしまったのかもしれない。大公爵は理工の赤学だったからね。彼は数を操る天才だった。あのレイディ・エイダの
赤学。
天才のことさ。書物を読み解くのに精一杯の僕らとは桁の違う知能を持った本物の天才たちだ。
Who is Lady Ada?
世の中を変えてしまうほどの頭脳。それを備えた人々だよ。大公爵。都市の支配者はその一人だった。
すごい人だったのね、王様は。
Amazing, huh? He certainly is an exceptional person. Crack engines in the phenomenon equation. Inventions which bent physics itself. He was probably the only human in the world who could create such things.
昔はね。
Are we talking about the prince or the king, or are these interchangeable? I'm a bit confused here.
今は
今はどうか
大公爵様はどこにいるの？
I think the Grand Prince is the king. I think the Grand Prince is the king. I don't think there's a king.
な。そのずっと上さ。誰よりも上で。彼は玉座にいるはずだよ。今もね。
The city skyscraper. The city's only high-rise building plate. The city center. Its heart. Its economic core. More shillings gathered here than anywhere else. A huge nest of industrialists and city officers were going back and forth. It stood in the city's lower tiers, yet it was a shining ward aligned with the upper-tier staircase parks. Even though all of the unfinished high-rise buildings were simply being left to rot, the people worked on unconcerned. This district was the most valuable part of the city. but at the same time, it was in ruins. It's living as it dies, or perhaps it's dying as it lives. Among the industrialists going back and forth through the corridors, the squatters in their cardboard houses stood out. City management occasionally disposed of them. People frustrated with their lives as registered citizens, illegal residents, squatters. If this district was living as it died, which of those groups best symbolized that? The industrialists, the city officers, or perhaps even the squatters? Who was living and who was dying? If nothing else, the last group felt very alive to Guy. Squatters? Their words held emotion, unlike those of the industrialists, who aimed to be human calculators, and the city officers who were nothing more than cogs within the administration. Notice how he's wearing an oxygen mask.
悪いこと言わねえよ。そんなとこに行くのはやめときなよ。兄さん、そのなりじゃ下の層の人間だろ？商会や企業のサラリーマンじゃあるめえ。なら私たちと変わりゃしないよ。これは忠告だ。行くのはよしな。やめた方がいいさ。死人に呪われちまうってもっぱらの噂だ。死人か人形しかいやしねえ。
死人か人
形？そうさ。死人か人形だ。そこにはそれしかねえ。めぼしいもんはなんもねえ。盗みに入るやつだっていやしねえんだ。おっかない機械の自動人形がいるだけだ。あとは死人だけ。
自動人
さあね、見たってやつがいるだけで詳しい話は誰も知らねえよ。行ったら呪われちまうんだ。狂った挙句に飛び降りて死んじまう。だから誰も近づきやしねえ。で、姉さん、なんであんなとこ行くんだ？
Is there a beast in there? There might be a beast in there. The emotions in their voices. Mild curiosity and intense fear. Their words were contradictory. No one had ever seen the rumored curse. Was it just a rumor or a sign of a monster? Guy couldn't determine which, but information was information. I think it's the monster, man. He'd heard all he could. Guy tossed a few shillings into the empty can on the floor and turned around to face Kia. Oh. Oh. Oh.
ググ、目を閉じて声を頼りに。これは難しい遊戯ですね。ギギ。
I'm gonna mute my mic. Listen to this sound. This song is so beautiful, and it has no business being this beautiful. In such a dystopian game, too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I just need to listen to this genuinely. Alright.
目隠し鬼っていうの。でも、あなたちゃんと目を閉じてる？ギギ、湿気な。ちゃんとほら、ギュッとしてますよ。どこ？どこに目があるの？ほら、物合いがスリットの中に見えませんか？ここ？ やだもうお嬢さんったら。
An engine spirit in a tier this high? I'm a little surprised. She always seemed to find someone to play with, but they couldn't afford to waste any time. I love these engine spirits, man. Geek cleared his throat.
ごめんなさい。あの子遊びたそうにしていたから。
いやせかしてしまってすまないね。
They're always like, no, don't touch me there. Ah, look at my eyes. You see this? Don't touch me there. why do they talk like a robot? Please don't. That hurts. I can't feel my dick.
エンジン精霊の表情がわかるのかい？彼らの鉄の顔で？
わかるわ。え？キーにはわからないの？
どうかな？
ああ、わからないのね。ダメよ、ギー。人の顔はよく見なきゃ。
People's faces, huh? She makes no distinction between humans and engine spirits. If anyone else had said that, Guy would have just shrugged his shoulders, but he didn't. He softly replied, "You're right," and took Kia's hand. They were heading for the number 10 storage building in Ward A. That song is beautiful. Ward A, number 10. The building isn't locked. This was the place Mr. Klein had indicated. Klein? I'm gonna say Klein. For a high-rise building, it was rather small. A large iron door had been left unlocked. When Guy stepped in front of it, it opened automatically. From Guy's observations, the building must have been over 10 years old. It was a little weird for a structure that old to have an automatic door. Automatic doors were engine-made products first sold 6 years ago. That meant Mr. Arthur Klein had had renovated the place within the past 6 years. When they entered the building, they were met with a large space lacking any signs of life. Kia coughed, probably because of the dust. An information storage building. A place where information publications accumulated. It seemed to symbolize a certain aspect of the city's skyscraper. Countless bookshelves spread out before them. A library. No, not that. A storehouse of information. Information in the form of books. The entire building was filled with bookshelves. It was splendid in a way. However, it was also unsettling. It was certainly a building made by humans, but no signs of life could be felt from it. Even an industrial business building felt livelier than this.
どなたかいませんか？仮想第7層より参りました。
No one's home.
もしもし。
Kia's voice didn't echo that much. It was absorbed by the bookshelves. When the echo came to an end, silence refilled the building.
誰もいない。そんなはずはないが、場所は間違えていない。A 区10番の情報書庫ビルディングだ。
Guy wondered if he should use the phenomenon equation's eye to search the interior for heat sources. But as he thought that, something came through the bookshelves filling the entrance hall. A silhouette walked out of the darkness. My girl, Addie! Someone was approaching from the far side of the hall. A single person. Oh. It's Klein. Mr. Klein.
はっくらい。いや、違うか。これは。
It wasn't a human. It was something built from well-tempered steel. It wasn't a human. Although its form closely resembled that of a human's.
いらっしゃいませ、お客様。
Oh, look at that. Look at that. We get a CG.
うわあ、綺麗。
Wow, look at the back. Look at the background and tell me this setting isn't fire. This is beautiful. Guy agreed with her voice of admiration. It certainly was beautiful. What finally showed itself was a single automation. A crack engine type automation. A humanoid engine machine constructed out of steel and made to perform labor in place of humans. It wouldn't be an overstatement to say it had an artistic level of completion. The adjective beautiful certainly suited it well. An automation. He'd never seen one this splendid before. The automations he'd caught glimpses of in the first and second tiers prioritized functionality, so they didn't bother to accurately imitate the human form. But she, who appeared before his eyes, could easily be mistaken for a human. A work of art. That phrase comes to mind. Guy looked at her form. The automation was in the shape of a woman. Its lips moved as it spoke. The voice sounded utterly indistinguishable from a human's. It was well made and probably very expensive doll. Its face must have come from a top-notch facial artist. I can't even hold you? Yo, she's an automation, bro. She can take this dick any day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's fine. It's fine. With consent, of course. I need to stop, bruh. I need to stop. The whole shape of the body had been designed with balance and beauty taken into account. It was incredibly smooth. You could tell at first glance that it was in the form of a woman. Even its spherical joints appeared elegant. Good day. The doll didn't react to her words. It was only natural. Even if it had the atmosphere of a human, even its expression looked human, it was clearly just a beautiful doll. Delicate eyes like a human's. He could clearly tell they were glass spheres. However, it was somehow out of balance. The storage building doesn't suit it. Why was this splendidly crafted girl, this automation, here in a fortress of dust-covered archives? It was probably just Mr. Klein's personal taste. Hey, yo, what type of personal taste? What is he into? He got all types of automations. Doing all types of stuff for him. I need to stop. I need to calm down. Yes, sir. I am not getting banned off YouTube. Guy and Kia handed her their individual engine cards. With just one glance, she nodded. I mean, is she wrong? Alright, bro.
彼女は人間の数を数えているようだよ。自分のことは数に入っていない。
そうなの？
クライン氏がいらっしゃるはずなんだ。ルアハ・クライン氏。わかるかい？
ルアハ様はお亡くなりになっております。お探しの情報をおっしゃってください。
No way! Were you too late, my brother?
ここには都市建築士および現在に至るまでの都市仮想史が収められています。お探しの情報をおっしゃってください。
死んだ。
はい、ここには誰もおりません。お探しの情報をおっしゃってください。私はお客様の入力を待機しています。お探しの情報をおっしゃってください。
Can she shut up? Chill out, man. Bro, is she just gonna keep repeating this? The information he was searching for information about Ruha Klein. Guy had come to heal that person. However, the automation said,
クラインについて私の正式所有する情報は多くありません。一級市民アーサー・クライン氏の血族、性別不明、年齢は10代後半から20代前半、 生前より健康状態に難あり、重度の変異病に罹病していたとの情報。死因は変異病の悪化による。葬儀は行われていません。配偶者なし、扶養家族もなし。以上です。
Dead. The automation definitely said that. Eerily probably would have gone home right about now, but Guy had other ideas. He decided to ask the automation to show him around the storage building. Was Ruha Klein really not here? Before leaving this fortress of books, he had to confirm that. However, an hour quickly passed. Guy still hadn't found any traces of life within the storage building. The bookshelves and floors and walls were all nicely cleaned, but that was it. The pod in the boiler room had never been heated up. The synthetic alcoholic drinks in the engine-type refrigerator had all expired a year ago, and most of all, the washing-type lavatory? Lavatory? I never heard of that. The water hadn't been used there in months. His right eye saw the age and deterioration of the toilet seat hinges. They hadn't been touched for at least half a year. In other words, it's been at least half a year since anyone had lived here.
本当にすでにルアー・クラインは死んでいる。ならクライン氏の依頼は彼に確認を取る必要があるか。
Nothing but books. There was nothing there but books and dust and automation. Books. Yes, just books. He took one off the shelf. Records of the 7th lower tier. Not sanctioned by city management.
都市仮想史の記録か。貴重な本だね。
いいえ、それらにはもう何の価値もありません。このビルディングのセントラルエンジン、その情報書庫にここの書籍すべての情報はすでに分解・蓄積されているのです。
なるほど。情報の抜け殻か。
He returned the book to its shelf. At the same time, his gaze fell upon the door of a single room. An odd premonition suddenly came into his mind, as if someone was behind him whispering, telling him to look.
あそこは
クライン氏の居室です。
入っても。
はい。現在は誰もおりません。ご自由に。
Mr. Klein's private room. He probably used this place as a second home. He had a mansion in the first tier. First-class citizens were allowed to live there. I opened the door and... it all makes sense now. Guy sighed softly. You couldn't get any confirmation from Mr. Klein. The man was right there in that room. On the other side of the barely open door, inside that one room, Guy could see the only trace of life in the entire storage building. A cup of water on the desk and a silhouette. A mummified corpse. It had dried up and was nearly bare
クラ
bones.
イン氏か。掃除はそうか。この部屋は命令されていないか。
はい。
そうか。
何？そこで何か見つけたの？ギー。
ここにいて中を見ないようにしなさい。君、キーヤのことを頼むよ。中を見ないように。
はい。何？やっぱり何か。ちょっとあなた。失礼いたしました。しかし、ドクターより侵入禁止の命令を入力されました。お許しください、キーヤ。どこ触ってるの？もうギー。
すまないね。すぐに戻るから。
Guy opened the door slightly and slipped inside. He began searching for evidence, but this wasn't enough to determine the cause of death. The mummy's heart had already turned to dust and blown away. Luckily, thanks to the dryness, there was no lingering odor. What appeared to be Mr. Klein's remains had mummified in a position hunched over his desk. His right hand was placed over an engine machine, something he touched on the verge of death, an old telecommunications device. He tried to use it right before dying. He'd sent that healing request using an old telecommunications device. Beneath these remains was a sheet of paper. It was identical to the telegram. He'd sent the telegram while looking at it, one letter at a time, while enduring the death closing in on him. He tried to send a healing request for himself? No, that's wrong. The telegram had definitely said, "My beloved child Ruaha." It wasn't for himself. It was for a relative or a member of his family. He'd probably taken his chance to use the device that morning.
なるほど。あなたの依頼は受け取っている。安心してください。あなたが助けを求めた彼、もしくは彼女、見つけないまま去りはしない。
I spoke to him briefly. Guy left the room and closed the door behind him. He made absolutely sure that Kia couldn't see the room's contents. Kia didn't seem to be resisting anymore. She silently looked up at the automation.
戻ったよ。この部屋にルアハ・クラインはいない。
そう。
君、質問があるんだが。
はい。
ルアハ・クラインが亡くなったのはクライン氏がああなった前かな、それとも
前と記録されています。
そうか。
Guy didn't think it was possible, but could this automation be Ruha Klein? Was this splendid automation the one he'd been requested to heal? There were very few people who'd call an automation family, not to mention how few could even own such a valuable automation in the first place. Guy thought about it. Hypothetically speaking, could Mr. Klein have made an automation in the image of his deceased son or daughter?
そういえば君の名前を聞いていなかった。君は R ルアハ・クラインかい？
いいえ、違います。私に型式番号は付属していません。私はオーダーメイドです。私の通称をお付けになる前にクライン様がお亡くなりになりました。
そうか。
Automations didn't lie, so that had to be true. However, Kia was gazing at her, silently. She'd been making a lot of noise earlier, but now she just looked quietly at the automation. As if she was looking at a human's face, intently, silently, as if reading its emotions.
この自動人形。いや、他にもまだ情報はあるはずだ。ここをどこだと思っている？ギー、すべきことは山ほど残っている。キア。
はい、ギー。
ここで少し待っていなさい。彼女と一緒に。君には自衛機能があるはずだね。名もなき自動人形の君。
はい。大型モンスターの出現に耐えうる設計が私にはなされています。大人であれば1名、子供は2名まで安全に保護できます。
十分だ。よろしく頼む。
Was that overkill? For a non-combat design, it seemed rather excessive, but it wasn't impossible either. There were people who had enough money to give their favorite plaything such functions. Lover and bodyguard. A truly necessary existence.
命令を入力いたしました。了解です、ドクター・ギー。ギー、どうしたの？一人でどこかへ行くの？
ああ、調べてみようと思うんだ。この書庫のすべてをね。
What?
蓄積された情報書庫とやらを確認してみたい。
Mr. Klein chose this place to die. An information storage building that was itself half dead. There was surely some meaning behind that, and it should eventually connect to Ruha Klein. I'll find it. But to do that, I need one of those. Welcome back to hell. Yes, sir. In the city's skyscraper corridors, Guy walked with purpose and speed. He thought about where he could borrow that from. He couldn't simply show up in city management and ask for it. Should he contact Stanislaw? My boy Stanislaw! Stanislaw was the dealer after all. Even now, he collected information. He was a pro at obtaining things. He could buy anything given the money. Kia's forge registry. Information about work requests and the poor and injured and lower tiers. And yes, he could obtain that too. But it would cost money. And it'd probably take a while. That dealer didn't like talking through the wireless. If Guy wanted to ask for something, he'd have to talk with him in person. Time. Over half a year has been wasted already. And yet for some reason, I'm impatient. Iroha Klein is in danger now. I can't not think that. Though I have no reason to. He whispered such things despite himself. No time. No reason. Addie! I missed you! Finally! A familiar voice suddenly reached him. Was that the black cat's cry?
やあ、珍しいとこで会うね。こんな場所でブツブツつぶやいて何さ。いい？また顔色悪いじゃない。ちゃんと寝てる？
アーティ。
そう、君のアーティさ。
Yeah.
何が君のアーティだ、気持ち悪い。ようだな。
Whoa!
クラッキングドッグだな。ちょうどいいところに顔出してくれたもんだ。グリッター討伐隊の従軍経験があるんだろ。今日の仕事付き合わないか？
You what? He does?
臨時雇用登録者は2名ですよ。新しい方はご遠慮くださらないと。
Why is she in here? This is a new person. You're a city officer? Can you be my city officer? Like, wait, no, she's part horse. She's part horse. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
ケチケチしてんじゃねえよ。クラッキングドッグの後方支援は命に関わるんだって。
Yes, sir, David. Bro, Guy and David? Are they the next delinquent duo? We gotta see this. We gotta see this.
ダメなものはダメですよ。本当に必要なら正式書類で申請してください。
David is so cool.
誰も雇ってあげられま。
で、それ何日かかるんだ？
早くて3日くらいです。
ここは雑踏街の演芸場か？たくこれだから。
ギー？何ぼーっとしてるのさ。聞こえてる？
ああ。
The voices came from Addie the Black Cat, from that young Palds man, and from that Tyros woman. A group of upper-tier soldiers were following them. He couldn't believe his eyes. What was with this group? Runners and upper-tier soldiers? And is that Tyros woman wearing a city management uniform?
どんな顔してんの？ああ、まあちょっと説明しにくい集団か。今回は真っ当な仕事なのさ。都市管理部絡みね。だからこうして上層兵の面々もご同行。
なるほど。
He couldn't fully understand it, but it was incredible luck. So that Taurus woman really was from city management. He might be able to get what he was looking for after all. Addie really did get around.
会えてよかった。アディ。
Oh.
会えてよかったと期待。
He's finally said it.
こってよ、二人さん。
David, no. David, get your ass up. No way you just said that. I mean, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. I mean, Addie's kind of the feisty one here. Bro, you remember first episode? What was Addie doing with her boobas popped out, bro? With her hungers popped out? What was she doing, bro? I don't know, man. Gee, you're not convincing me. She has to be your wife, bro. She has to be. David, get your ass on. Bro, I know you're jealous. Just chill out, bro.
もしかして旦那様なんですか？はじめまして、都市管理部の。
She just believes everything David says, bro.
奥さんじゃないってば。
You sure?
安宿を指定しろよ。お前。
At least deny the hotel room. No way he said that. Nah, David funny as hell. He's funny as shit. At least deny the hotel room is crazy. You know what, Addie wanted that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I gotta restrain myself, bruh. Addie, deny the hotel. Imagine if Guy says that. Deny the hotel parts. Addie's getting flustered. What? No. Addie, bro. That's too much. That was funny. That was mad funny, bruh. That was cute too. Addie tilted her head as Guy whispered into her ear, a whisper that no one else could hear. Softly, as if whispering sweet nothings. Whispering, "Tell that city officer I need to borrow an external engine connector. Please, I need your help with this." She is mad. She wanted to get brought to a hotel.
でもそんなもの何に使うのさ？誰が使うの？鼻と耳から血出して死んじゃうって聞くけど、それって何のお話ですか？エンジンコネクタ、外付け型のとびきり危ない嫌な機械。
あれか、趣味の悪い自殺機械だな。穴黒なハッカーもどきが遊ぶ頃とは違うんだ。だな、青白い顔が吹き飛ぶぜ。今じゃ本物のハッカーはエンジンコネクタを頭蓋骨にくっつけてるもんさ。
He knew that perfectly well, but there wasn't enough time to employ a hacker. That was why Guy needed a connector. It was the only machine allowing a flesh and blood human to connect to information space, but it came with a lot of risk.
必要があってね。やめときな。自殺はいかにも気分が悪い。
Oh.
僕はすでに依頼を受けていてね。それに僕は人体の修復には慣れている。そういや、クラック使いだったか、旦那は。まあ、どうでもいいが。
やめて、どうでもよくない。何さ依頼って。ギーが死んだら意味ないじゃない。契約も何もなくなるよ。
The black cat objected with pursed lips. Guy didn't answer. I'll just be silent. I've already decided what I need to do. Oh, I need more water, man. Roughly 2 hours later. Guy returned to the information storage building. I should have saved, damn it. The Ward A number 10 high-rise building. A place said to be haunted. He saw Kia and the automation conversing in the entrance hall. Kia was speaking to the automation, and the automation was replying mechanically. He was interested in what they were discussing, but Kia noticed him right away and waved her hand. He waved back, and she came up to him, pulling the automation's hand.
おかえりなさいギー。あのね、このこといろいろお話ししたのよ。
No way! They became besties?
仲良くなったのかい？
That's what I said.
そうよ。キーヤたちは仲良くなったの。この子のいろんな話を聞かせてもらったわ。コーヒーを入れるのが得意なんですって。
At least deny the hotel part is crazy, bro. Oh my gosh. Addie wanted that dick.
はい。ほらね。
ああ、味わってみたいね。
それは命令の入力でしょうか、ドクターギー。
No, it isn't, bruh.
いや、今は。
はあ、仰々しくエンジンコネクタなんて借りて、
Bro.
焦ってどこへ行くのかと思えば、
Of
お
course.
人形とキーヤとで泳ぎ会なの？
Of course she followed us. What's up, Addie?
よかった。
I could make an Addie bar.
一緒だったの。
Wait, hold on. Yes, sir! Kia knows what's up. Addie the goat. Hold on, let me make an Addie bar. Listen, man. Listen. You talk on the net, boy. Wait, no, hold on. I had a scheme going there. Hold on. Yeah. What? Hey, yeah. Hold up. Wait. Look. Hey. What? Yeah. Nah, I don't even know. I can't rhyme, dude. What rhymes with Addie? Caddy, daddy, Addie, fatty, gaddy. Listen. My girl built like Addie, man. She got a fatty. If you talk on the net, I pull up to your block and I... Dog, what? No. Nah, I fucked up. I'm trying to make a whole scheme with like... You a pussy if you talk on the net. I pull up and come to you, Addie. Like, you get it? Cause like Addie, pussy, cat. Like, I had something cooking, bro. I gotta cook that up next time. Next time I hop on the track, bro, I gotta cook something up with that. I'm already trying to figure out new bars right now, bro.
え、あ、頼りないから少し仕事抜け出して。
Of course you can.
よかった。ならギーは大丈夫ね。アキーがいるものね。
I love these guys.
まあね。
Look at her blush. For some reason, the black cat smiled. She kept quiet about something Kia had failed to realize when she came in with Guy. Addie should have stayed with her current biz, but the black cat had simply said, "This looks dangerous, so I'll go watch him," and left with Guy and the engine connector. She'd followed him all the way back here. Since she'd helped him borrow it, Guy couldn't refuse her. The black cat had said she needed an engine connector for the biz, making the city officer go all the way back to her workplace. Even with the officer's connections, asking for a second-hand connector seemed to make a big difference. The city officer woman could borrow one of those just by asking. Management work, huh? I'm glad they can get things so quickly.
そのヘルメット、何？
What is...
大きいけれど
Wait, what helmet?
おもちゃみたいね。
Why'd I ask what
お
is?
もちゃだよ。
What is?
少しこれを試してみたい。
Oh, is that the engine connector? He looked into a far corner of the hall at a seat which was probably once occupied by a clerk. In front of it was the reception desk. Guy searched for the engine connection interface underneath it. There it is. A connection interface to the central storage engine. Back when there were humans here, calculation and reference devices would have been connected to it. It was fairly odd, but still functional. Fairly Odd Parents? Nah. I never watched that. I'm gonna be
これ
real.
からギーはお昼寝の時間さ。エンジンの情報書庫にそれでアクセスして、いろいろと調べてみたいんだってさ。
アクセス。
盛況外来語。接触とか接続とかって意味。
Are Sekiens humans? I think Sekiens are humans. I don't know, dog.
危なくないよ。
問題ないよ。 じゃあ少し行ってくれ。僕の体のことは頼むよ、アディ。せっかく来てくれた以上報酬は払う。
はいはい。
頼りにするよ。
Guy said that and sat in the chair. He then equipped himself with the connector. Now I close my eyes so that my consciousness can be sent into information space. At that moment, that beautiful automation was gazing at him. Guy couldn't feel any will from it, but still, something bugged him. Just a little.
お気をつけて。
He might have heard her say that. At that moment, Guy's consciousness fell into information space. It closely resembled fainting. Sensations of floating and falling. His consciousness continued to fall into a deep place. It's just darkness. Information space wasn't composed of text. Technically, it wasn't even space. Engines which operated as calculation and information accumulation devices. Their internal information archives could be connected to one's consciousness. The act of capturing that information with one conscious mind. The field of vision thereby produced was called information space. Guy's consciousness was now amongst the archive and was recognizing it as space. In other words, he was within the information that the entire building had accumulated. Information space's utility lay in its convenience. The information space produced by an engine connection was among the most efficient of all Inganock's crack engine technologies. People could easily obtain information this way. All of the information that engines had accumulated over the years. There was no need to grab the document and flip through hundreds of pages. There wasn't even a need to read any text. One merely walked through the space and saw the relevant information. There was enough to carve the information into one's brain. It took no time at all. In mere seconds, all the information in a book thousands of pages long could be written into one's brain. But most of all, Addy and the others are right. There was a considerable risk. Guy walked through the darkness. Nothing at all existed in his field of vision. That told him there was no information in this archive. That couldn't be right. The automation had definitely said that the building's central storage engine had accumulated all the document's information, which could only mean...
暗闇は虫食いの跡か。行儀の悪いハッカーがここを食い荒らした跡らしいな。
A hacker. One who devours information. A type of runner that excelled in information hoarding. They had crack engines implanted into their brains and could connect to all sorts of information archives. They stole information from the first-tier industrialists and city management and sold it to informants, dealers, and other runners. Many of them were once affluent. Occasionally, they would simply lay waste to information they liked. Like this darkness, so that only they could have it. So that no one else could ever have it. Those were colloquially called mothholes. Mothholes. A slang term used by industrialists and runners in the lower tiers.
都市建築士と仮想士、そんなものが金になるとは思えないな。暇なハッカーもいたものだな、まったく。もしくは意図を持ってそうする者がいるかだ。
He walked within the darkness and noticed several wide open holes. He felt as if he'd been walking for hours, but it was just a sensation of information space. In reality, only a few minutes had passed. If the information had accumulated there properly, then he'd be walking through a library by now. At long last, Guy discovered much larger holes. 2 huge holes that connected to an abyss. Evidence of pulverized information. Human senses recognized them as something resembling monstrous bite marks. Huge holes connecting to a net of information used to manage the engine energy in the city's skyscraper. One of them was dug quite deep. Almost like one of Randolph's endless holes. Was this the source of the abnormality in energy distribution? Breaking through defensive walls made of accumulated and encrypted information. Accessing a different information space. Quite the moth. That was something only first-rate hackers did. Normally, the information spaces of engines designed to be standalone were kept isolated, forcing them to connect to other engines using the engine energy rushing about the city, then connecting their information spaces, joining with all kinds of engines, and invading all kinds of information space. Hackers who were able to utilize that special skill could connect from anywhere, unlike Guy, who had to connect from a specific location. They could even do it in their own rooms. Let's say a bed in the 5th tier. They could sneak into the archives of a 1st tier industrialist even from there.
厄介だな。
Oh wow. Yes, that's right. Troublesome. Guy's words weren't meant for the first hole, but for the second. Word poured out when he moved his eyes toward it. Something was there. No, perhaps it'd be better to say someone was there. A reaction from a high-density information entity. The same sort of entity as the present Guy. When living beings connected to information space, they were recognized as high-density information entities. A high-density information entity is hiding in this huge hole. I have a bad feeling about this.
そこにいる君は誰だ？
No answer. Guy sighed and began to search. He focused his consciousness on the dashboard. He then began to input words into the search engine. Begin search. Search complete. Read only information name. Bandersnatch. We heard that before. Let's save. Perfect time to save. Bandersnatch. Who is that again? I'm gonna be real, I forget. Species name, creature.
クリッド。なんとも厄介だな。
Is that the patient? The Mr. whatever his name is? A creature in the form of an information entity. I heard a room like this once, but there was no reason to doubt the search results. There was no sensation of terror, but this was information space after all. Guy was outside his immortal body, the information creature Bandersnatch. He thought that nothing could be further removed from him, and yet here he was about to meet it. There was no sense of terror, no sense of panic, just the presence of danger.
クライン氏の消失にクリッターの関与あり。おいしい仕事か。
Call up the dashboard. Attempt contact. Set to analysis depth 1. Begin contact analysis of the target high-density information entity. Analysis depth 1. Dialogue with high-density information entity. What the heck? A voice echoes out. Information taking the form of a voice. He couldn't properly recognize its form. A number of defensive walls were covering and protecting it, but it was right before Guy's eyes. The information space creature Bandersnatch. Oh yeah. As expected, he felt no terror, no panic either. Just the uncomfortable sense of danger boiling up, and most of all, surprise. It was emitting a voice. It was speaking in words. He had never heard of such a creature. A creature. The strangest of the strange. Kings at bringing about terror. They never use human language. That's a characteristic all creatures share.
驚くのも無理はない。私は人間たちの情報に触れ、こうして自らを変質、進化させたのだ。改めてようこそ、イエー。
This thing already knows my name. So it's a hacker creature.
まずは話をしよう。情報空間において時間は無限にある。ここでの1秒は現実では1万分の1秒。
That's crazy. Barely any time is passing in reality.
さあ、お茶の準備が整っている。
Get out of here. No way.
話をしよう。ギー
Oh boy. Inner voices. Huh. Oh no. Inner voices. Should I do inner voices? Should I do inner voices? Should I? It's 1:20 in the morning. 1:20 in the morning, man. There's gonna be some reading, but I think I can endure it. All right. Yeah. Yeah, bet. Let's do it.
ルアハ・クラインという人物。
All right. Gee's inner voice. Talk to us, man.
ショコビルディングに住んでいたというクライン氏の血族。息子か娘か。あまりに不可解だ。それは実在する人物なのだろうか。このショコビルディングには人間の生活の痕跡が存在していない。自動人形は嘘をつかない。名前を名乗らない彼女。女性型のあの自動人形は言った。ルアハは死んだと。であれば彼もしくは彼女は本当にもう存在していないのだろうか。しかし僕への電信依頼は有効だ。これを僕が受け取った以上、たとえそれが5年前の電信でもだ。ルアハ・クラインという人物が死亡したという確定情報がない限りは。確定情報か。それならあの自動人形の証言は、自動人形は嘘をつかないのだから。その言葉をもって確定ともできるだろう。だが僕はそうしなかった。何かが引っかかっている。何か重要なことを僕は見逃していないか。このショコビルディング、奇妙な違和感があった。クライン氏は第一層出身の資産家だ。それがなぜこのショコビルディングなのか。第一層の邸宅ではなくてここなのか。豊島天狼とはいえ資産家が住むにはあまりに飾り気がない。このビルディングにいる理由があった。そう僕は考える。この建築物の第一印象は圧倒的なまでの外界との隔絶感だった。他者の侵入を拒むような閉ざされ、ある意味では完結した世界。ビルディングに満ちる書籍もそうだ。情報空間のライブラリに全て転写済みの、現在では意味のないただの紙の束。残った書籍には金銭価値などないだろう。ただの紙の束。そしてその情報は公開されている。侵入の意味などないと告げるかのように。隔絶されたビルディング。侵入の意味はない場所。何かが明らかに不可解だ。クライン氏はなぜこうまでもこの場所を守ろうとするのか。クライン氏の死因は不明だ。白骨化した遺体では目にも見えない。クラッキングの右目が見た彼の白骨の経過年数は死後5年。彼の送りかけの伝聞、それを僕は5年越しで受け取った。ルアハ・クラインは存在する。この伝聞がそう告げている。
Is it a trap?
仕事を途中で放棄はしない。あなたの言葉を僕は確かに聞き入れた。見捨てはしない。何としても見つけてみせる。
What if Klein is the beast, that monster he encountered in the information world, whatever it's called? I don't know, man. See, I don't know how this works. This is just pure speculation, but I mean, it's been 5 years, right? So 5 years, hold on. If time in that information world is like a 10,000th compared to the time in the real world. 5 years would be like, whew, I don't even know. Let's do. Can I do that calculation real quick? Let me see. So 1 in 10,000, that's 0.0001. So 0.0001. 0.0001 times. How should I express that? 0001. Okay, 0001. Let's do 365 times 5, 1825 times 0.0001. Oh, that's not even a day? We need another way to express this. Okay. Let's see. 365 times 5, 1825 days in 5 years. 1825 roughly. That's days times 24 for 24 hours. 43,800 hours. 43,800 times 0.0001. Right? Yeah. That is 4.38 hours. That's 4 hours. 5 years would be 4 hours in the information. No, sorry. 4 hours. What is it? 5 years in the information world would be 4 hours in the real world. What? Wait, then how does that make sense? If it was 5 years in the real world, it would be a lot longer in the information world. Okay, no, I was on to nothing. My bad, y'all. My bad. I was not cooking, man. That was raw, bro. Absolutely raw. That was not cooking. All right. Scene 2. Is this Kia? Yep.
ゲイは何をしているのだろう。誰を探しているの？誰を探してここまで来たの？わからない。みんな何をしているの？
This is just Kia's whole thing. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know what anyone is doing. She finally said it too, and that's funny.
ルアハ・クラインさんを探しているの？本当にそう？もしもそうなら、私にはやっぱりわからない。だって、ルアハ・クラインさんは人形なのだと言うけれど、本当にそうなの？人間のようにしか私には見えない。人形だと言ったのは誰？人間ではないと言ったのは。
Oh, what if she's lying to us? What if... Wait. Who are you calling Klein-san? Who are you calling Ruha Klein-san? They call her a doll. Is she really just a doll? What? Are you talking about that robot? The automation? Okay, whatever. What if that automation is actually human deceiving us? Oh god. Oh god, we're cooked. We're cooked.
私は首をかしげてしまう。この建物はわからないことばかり。みんなどうかしてる。機械の人形なんてどこにいるの？私にはわからない。彼女がなぜそう言ってしまうのか。あなた、自動人形だと言ったあなた。あなたは誰？なぜ何も言わないの？あなたは。私はまだ一度もあなたの言葉を聞いていない。声を聞かせて。言葉を述べて。 あなた自身の言葉を聞いてみたいの。自動人形だと言ったあなた。あなたには自分の言葉があるはずなのに。
Huh. Kia's inner voice is like so easy to digest and understand because she's like, what's going on? Why does the food taste mid? Why is everyone doing this? What is this place? Why are people so mad in this city? It's funny. All right, who is this?
自動人形を見たとき驚いて
Let's
みん
go!
なの上層兵とかを思い出したから。
Addie. I think I made it clear Addie's my favorite character. Is there anyone who tops Addie? No. I mean, she also has pretty privilege as well. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I'm a bit biased. A little bit. Alright.
A 氏の役目でもあるのかなと思ってあの子の動きを見ていたけど、波の人間よりは頑丈だけども特別戦闘用に調整されてはいないみたい。あんまり警戒することもないか。それより上層兵の方が気になる。あいつらは無茶苦茶だから、出力も速度も呆れるくらい。速度だけなら負けないと思うけど、でも失敗したら死ぬし、やっぱりできればやり合いたくない。どうか何も起きませんように。トラブルが起きるなら上層兵以外の何かでありますように。よし、これで多分大丈夫。あの自動人形、なんだか気になって仕方がない。そもそも何がどうして女の形なのさ。書庫管理なんて筒の人形でいいのに。あんなにも精巧で綺麗で芸術品みたいで。だから気になって仕方がない。あの自動人形、本当は別の用途で作られたのかも。例えば、まあ、いろいろあるけどさ。
Hey, yo, what was she thinking? Notice how she coughed like, well, it could be a lot of things. Like, damn, stop thinking about that stuff. Oh my god. They know what they were doing with Addie's voice lines here. I mean, we all thought it. We all thought it. So I can't really blame Addie here. But I mean, she was. Why are you coughing so loudly? It just draws more attention to it. Why'd it end like that? Nah, but this is definitely a setup. The automation. I don't know. I think they're setting us up, bro. Notice how all these characters are so uneasy with the automation. It's definitely setting us up, not in a good way.
ルアハクラインについて私の正式所有する情報は多くない。
I did not think we will get into your inner voice. I didn't. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Alright.
このショコビルディングの主であった一級市民クライン氏の血族。性別不明。年齢は10代後半から20代前半。生前より健康状態に難あり。重度の変異病に利病していたとの情報。クライン氏が逝去した本年よりも以前、5年ほど前にルアハ氏は逝去。死因は変異病の悪化による。葬儀は行われていない。配偶者なし、扶養家族もなし。以上。私の正式所有する情報は以上。正式に、ルアハ・クライン氏はすでに死亡。正式に。エンジンヒューマン並びに自動人形について、簡易的な情報。両者は極めて酷似した存在ではあるが、根本的な部分が異なっている。前者は高度に機械化されたただの人間。後者は純然たる機械である。人間か、機械か。 フラクタルな思考と強靭な身体能力を備えるエンジンヒューマンは上層でも重用される。
So engine humans, in the way I kind of view them, are like cybernetic, or Cybertron or whatever. Not Cybertron. What? Cybernetic, I guess. I don't know. What's cybernetic? A mechanical interface that interfaces with the biological one. Something like that. Okay, yeah. I think that's pretty accurate then. Engine humans are like cybernetic, right? So.
理論上、人間のサイズを有したものでは、戦闘用のエンジンヒューマンに勝るものはない。インガノックにおける記録上の事実である。しかし、その有用性にもかかわらず、製造数はごくごく少数に限られる。これは、肉体の大半をクラックエンジンへ置換する外科手術の成功率がごく低いためである。手術費用も通常のものより跳ね上がる。そのため、上層による兵団設立、もしくは特殊な事情の裕福な下層民によってのみ手術は行われている。特殊な事情。第一の可能性、ランナーとしての成功を望む裕福な下層民であるという事情。第二の可能性、すなわち、重度の利病により生体のほとんどを置換しなくては生存できない裕福な下層民。下層におけるエンジンヒューマンは、おおむね以上の理由で製造される。年に数人の手術が成功するかどうか、その可能性も低いというのが実情である。以上。クライン夫妻について。私を製造した第一級市民の夫妻である。本来、彼らは下層第一層の、すなわち富裕層の市民であった。しかし、私の製造を境に、彼らは私有財産のほとんどを売却している。その売却額は、記録されている私の製造費用と同一。
If they're first tier citizens and they sold a lot of their personal assets just to create you, this automation is really expensive. Holy man. If it's this expensive, then I think it's capable of having like malicious thought. Like, I don't know. I don't know about you, automation, since you don't have an official name.
この数字の一致については、私は詳細な情報を持たない。情報を持たない。私は何も知らない。知らない。
That last part was kind of suspicious. I can't even hold you. Save, and we're probably gonna have to read out scene 5 and scene 6. So get used to my voice. Are you kidding me, Brett? Are you kidding me, Brett? Alright, that's VNDS for you. I think it's frozen. I don't think I can. That's fine, because I saved at that part, so I'll be fine. Alright. I'm gonna have to cut to when I get back into VNDS, so see you guys. Alright. So I hope it doesn't require me to read any of these scenes again. I don't think it should. I don't think it'll give me any bonus stuff for doing it. But let's go to scene 5. Right? Yeah, scene 5. Here we go. About the city skyscraper. The tier plate located closer to the upper tier than any other lower tier plate in the city of Inganock. It has roughly the same altitude as the upper tier staircase parks. The tier is constructed out of high-rise buildings. It's said to be modeled on the Sekien city of Manhattan, but details are unknown. Okay. So, Sekiens are basically humans. Manhattan. It was once built up as a key part of the Arcology city plan, but because of the calamity 10 years ago, a number of high-rise projects were abandoned. At present, city management is based in the tier's administration ward. It operates engine energy management wards in all parts of the city. The city skyscraper also supplies the engine energy used by the information network core. It distributes the vast engine energy produced by enormous engines to all parts of the lower tiers. It truly could be called the heart of the city. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Many of the extant high-rise buildings could be called enormous calculation engines. I'm just wondering, what if that building went down, then lots of your infrastructure will go down as well. That's not very good design. A number of great companies and industries in the city have fortresses called high-rise buildings in the city skyscraper to show off their power. Hacker information from the storage building. Part 1. First, about engine connectors. Crack engine connectors can be implanted into the body to synchronize with calculation and information accumulation engines, thereby obtaining all sorts of information. They are activated by touching calculation engines and focusing one's consciousness on them. Beginners' crack engine connectors are tiny things implanted into the head, the occipital lobe to be precise, and any scars from the surgery are covered up by hair, the occipital lobe. I think that's either for seeing or hearing. I can't remember. It's high school biology. Let me look that up. I'm actually curious. Occipital lobe. A lobe. Visual perception. Yeah, okay. Okay, I got you. Visual. Any scars from the surgery are covered up by hair. Oh, okay. That's a bit ghetto. Many humans in the lower tiers save up for shady doctors, and in exchange for the risk of losing their lives in failed surgeries, become able to heighten their engine factory's productivity. The high-class crack engine connectors prohibited by the upper tier require surgical replacement of portions of the brain. Kind of ironic how it's the high-class crack engine connector and it's banned by the upper tier. Those surgeries have an exceptionally high failure rate, but when they succeed, those humans become able to control most calculation engines and gain supernatural information handling abilities. However, finding a shady doctor with the skills to pull off brain replacement surgery is probably much harder than the surgery itself. Only those who've overcome that difficulty can be called hackers. Hackers. A kind of runner specializing in information. They can connect to the engine energy information network running throughout the city, interfere with it, and contact distant information archives. City management, industries, companies, and engine factories. Hackers can invade everyone's archives. They can obtain whatever information they want. Of course, there's always a danger to it. Especially after the development of engine energy control devices, since they can automatically burn away anyone trying to connect illegally. Still, despite that, burn away? So, oh my gosh, they kill you, they execute you within the world if you connect illegally. Not even within the world, they just kill you. They're like, no, we're not having that. The archives of large machines that accumulate great quantities of information, colloquially called information space, are treasure vaults to hackers. Many kinds of information can be exchanged for shillings. Thus the hackers slip by the burners day and night searching for it. Even in wars between industries, the hackers monopolize an important position. Master hackers are said to be more powerful than any firearm. Any industry would love a bird's eye view of its enemies. At present, there are around 10 in the lower tier back alleys who call themselves hackers. They probably number even fewer than the equation users. By the way, everyone called a hacker is a special second-class wanted criminal. Hacker information from the storage building, Part 2. The creature in the information space. Creature Bandersnatch. With unequaled tenacity in information space, it's considered a fearsome existence by the hackers. It's a creature with no physical body, no flesh, no blood, no bone. The name Bandersnatch originates from a ferocious carnivorous beast appearing in a Sekien myth. I gotta end this video soon, bro. It's been 3 hours. 3 hours and 15 minutes, bro. I'm dying. My voice about to die. It's said to be as widely feared as the dragon. Records show a great number of casualties being brought about across every part of the city during the revival 10 years ago. My brain is also slowing down. Those who could connect to information space were probably able to see it if they had good or bad luck. Bandersnatch's skull holds 8 elongated teeth. Each hand has 3 long fingers with short and sharp claws. Its neck is long and stringy. Its slender body has a tail and 2 wings, but they aren't as valiant as the dragon's. Perhaps it could be called the dragon's caricature. Though in a way, it's far more frightening than that. Bandersnatch lays waste to information space. It can tear up engine energy and control a network at will. 10 years ago, this creature brought about many catastrophic accidents to make people suffer. The talk among the hackers is that this creature has changed its inclinations since then. That it stopped causing accidents and cataclysms. What Bandersnatch presently takes an interest in are the minds of humans. It takes pleasure in chasing down and destroying their fragile minutiae. Thus whisper the hackers. Hacker information from the storage building, part 3. About the original existence. There was a certain legendary hacker. He's been referred to as Keith, or just K. It's said that he snuck into the upper tier aristocrats' information archive, and that he might have even touched the Grand Prince's secrets. The next day, squatters discovered the man called Keith or K reduced to ash by the road in front of his house. They got his ass. That man called Keith or K. His dying words were, "Trust no one. He who is original. The truth lies with him." That was all. These words became a conversation piece among the runners. A legendary man who touched the Grand Prince's secrets and died. The incident was rather sensational. The second line of those words, "He who is original," at present it's called the original existence. It's said to be the core of Inganock, or maybe the Grand Prince itself. Because of how few newspapers and media outlets used it, and how many different meanings people gave it, the name never really caught on. Inner voices. Oh! What the heck? Nah, that prince? I don't trust that prince, bro. There's something going on. There is something going on in their castle. I don't want to know about it. They might be on that Alabama type. I don't even know. I know for a fact they're watching us. They're watching us as Guy. Oh, I don't know, man. Scene 6. About the creature phenomena. This is a theory advocated within creatureology. I didn't know that was a word. That's cool as hell. A branch of science which momentarily existed 10 years ago. Of course. I don't even know if that's a word then. Is that an actual word? Namely, the theory that the 41 creatures which appeared during the revival were not organisms but merely a kind of phenomenon. The creatures could even exist in information space. They couldn't possibly be anything other than phenomena. Phenomena which harmed many people. This way of thinking was rejected at the time, but at present it's considered common knowledge. About the mystery of the Kikai. Despite being called a mystery, they only really exist in fairy tales. It was never something spoken of by many. The mystery has a lot to do with their characteristics. For instance, do they have eyes? Do they like pleasant music? Are they capable of destroying creatures? Do they like pleasant music? What? A fairy tale born from the people's wishes. Was that really their origin? If it was, then it would make sense if they could destroy creatures. But can we really say that? The 4 stolen ones beside the original existence. This was something told only among hackers. A rumor unknown to runners and normal citizens. The original existence is real. The One Piece is real. Stop. The original existence is real. The 4 stolen ones serve him. He's laughing up in the highest place. What? That is the prince. The hackers sometimes say those words to one another. No one knows their true meaning. Even they don't understand what they're saying. Then why say it? Yes, they don't know. There's still no one who does. Inner voices. Oh. Alright. Even if I wanted to keep going, I gotta go to bed, man. It's getting late for me. I'm gonna save right here. A nice long episode for y'all. I felt a bit invested today. I can't even hold you. My neck kind of hurts looking down at my 3DS. Blah. This capture card is really nice though. It's done me really well so far. The fact that I can charge it as well, like it's just one cable for audio, video, and charging. So it's just one cable. That's all. It's pretty thin. It's nice. Anyway, yeah. I'll end it off here. Oh man, you know what? Oh, actually, I was thinking about starting Fate Stay Night, the visual novel, on VNDS on here, and I actually made like 3 videos of it. Like, and they're on my computer. They're on there, but it's not the most, I guess, compatible with VNDS. It kind of breaks like once you get like what 3-4 hours in. So that didn't really work out. It was 80 hours anyway, so I was wondering how I mean, right now I'm wondering how in the hell would I have done a visual novel like 80 hours and record all of that? You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I played Higurashi, and Higurashi, that was like 120 hours. That's a longer visual novel, but I never really recorded it. So I mean, this is only 20 hours, and it's only the 5th part, but it still kind of feels long. I don't mind it though. I don't mind it. Anyway, I should save. That's it's not the most important because I have saves here, but just in case, I want to keep as much backups as reasonably possible. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man.